Alright, welcome back to Black Lodge Trivia Night. This is Art, and we are doing some more Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. I'm going to stream some of it as well, so if you watch the stream, you probably won't need to see the replay on YouTube, but if you're not watching the stream, this will all go up on our YouTube channel as like a normal CRPG weekly session. Yeah, it's good to get back to this one. Now, I don't know in terms of how we actually release it on the channel, how the timing works out, but in real life, it has been a long time since I've spent any time here in The Fall of Avalon, so I'm very excited to get back to it because I've been greatly enjoying this game. And we'll see how far we get with it. Again, I never promise full playthroughs. But I do hope to be able to get to this one for a while, because family is out of town for a bit. I had to stay for work, which was a little sad, but the silver lining to it is that hopefully I can I can get some extra cat-assing in on the channel. Maybe there'll be extra streams. Maybe I'll, you know, try and bring this back to life for a little bit while I can. But for right now, I'm set. I've got double my drinks. I got one. Got my iced tea, two. If I could stand up high, tall enough, you'd see the front bulge of my adult diaper, because I'm ready to go. I'm not getting up to stop for a little while. I'm hoping to do like a decent chunk of this. And usually, like, if I were doing this, just recording it, I would probably not have the camera on. I'd figure out ways to be able to stop and get drinks and all that stuff. Or take breaks. But I'm not going to do that here. This is just going to be like a normal stream. So I'll go for hopefully the normal amount of time, which is usually 2, 3, 4 hours. And go from there. I'm not sure. I can see my meter, so I know I'm getting audio. I just don't know if it's too low when I'm not talking. And then when I do talk, it just completely bottoms out. I'm not sure. So if anybody ends up checking this out, if you could just let me know. As I said, it's been a while since I played. I don't recall. I don't recall what the buttons do. So B is sneak, X, not sure. A, I'm not sure. Sorry, this is a Xbox control. I'm trying to see. Y is jump. I'm trying to see, how do you... That's third person perspective. D-pad down. I'm just trying to put away my weapon because I'm not sure if these are enemies. Oh, they are. Okay. Yeah, so it's been a little while since I spent some time in this game, so there will be some growing pains. I was last time I told myself I was going to start doing quests, because this is the kind of game where I just forget about quests entirely, and next thing I know, I'm just having a good time. I feel like I was maybe getting close to some quest markers. Gallows, I know, and I know that I have tried a couple of things. Like, there was this boss monster, and there was another boss monster. I don't recall where. And basically what I recall is that, maybe it was up here. Basically, I was able to, like, sort of work my way through the caves or the level leading up to the boss, and then I'd get stomped by the boss. Maybe at one point I was trying to get back to Blood Lake to see if I could give that another shot now that I've leveled up a bit. And then I probably got distracted, you know, going through here. So, let's go to quests. Let's, track this one. That should send me to there. So let's give that another shot. Although I am kind of curious to see what's going on here. As I've said before, one of the things I really like this over, say, like your typical Elder Scrolls games is, and maybe I just haven't given the Elder Scrolls games enough time, but
stay sharp.
There's a darkness to these. It's a darker fantasy world. And I appreciate that. So there's probably an enemy just on the other side of the wall that was boosting up my sneak skill. Yeah, I know one of the things I was struggling with was I don't have enough potions, and I keep wanting to play a stealth archer, and I never have arrows. But I do have, I've been doing all right with melee. I found the melee and the magic a little bit more interesting in this game. There might have been something I was supposed to do with the gallows. I can't recall. So let's try and get a little more focused. I haven't tried that yet. So let's see how that works. Now there's a... There we go. Okay, that's a fast travel point. Yeah, it's not the hot start I was hoping for, so I think I need to follow this road further to the east, and then it'll get me around this sort of cliff face or whatever, and then I can get into the lake. So let's keep doing that. Let's follow the road a little bit longer. It's kind of funny. I was, wasn't like actively looking this up, but I stumbled across the information you need, like how to become like a verified Twitch partner or something like that, and the the requirements are quite low. I think you have to stream like a certain number of times a week to a certain number of people for a certain amount of time. But I think we'd be hard pressed to qualify. So I'd like to, while my family's out of town, I wouldn't mind... Oop, wrong button. I wouldn't mind, even though the real point is to get the recording up on the YouTube channel, wouldn't mind seeing what happens if we could just get a little more activity here on Twitch. It's a little difficult for me to set a schedule. If I were smart, I would be like, okay, one night a week, I go ham streaming to Twitch. Or somehow, like if we could coordinate, get a schedule going for the channel. But that is tough to do, so who knows? I've reached the heart of the garden. Pridwin, a druid, has asked me to slay the Terrorborn something something. So there was a creature. Now the problem is that on my way here, I've sort of soaked up some damage. So that's going to eat into the resources I have. I was trying to save for the fight. Because the reality is I've sat here and like, oh yeah, I mean, it's really amazing. Like I get lost in the world and I don't pay attention to the story and I'm not paying attention to quests. Is that just me emotionally masking the fact that I've actually not successfully completed a quest yet in this whole game? Like I just don't know if I've been able to do it for the most part, except for, you know, I think roses were something that were useful. That's why I just realized maybe I should grab them. I think they were useful for an alchemical potion that I'm not going to remember what it is off the top of my head. Maybe it's something to do with healing. But I thought it was useful, and I remember there obviously being a lot here. So let me take a moment. Now, I think upstairs there actually might be an alchemical brewing station. So let me see if I can do that real quick. Maybe... Again, not that I remember how to get there. Here we go. All right, I think my mic's working. I think I've got in-game audio. You know what? Let me, screw it. I'll just leave it. If it's too soft, I will fix it in post, but I'll just leave it for now. So we got a small mana potion. What I want is this, small health potion. How many can I craft? Craft 2. Strong health potion. Can I craft? Okay. Well, I don't know if that did much, but okay, that's going to get me most of the way back to healing. Let me, so I got some decent strength health potions here. Okay, so I got a bunch of health potions lined up. Let's see what happens. Getting some healing over time from those meals, so I should be almost back to full health when hopefully I'm ready to go, which I think was down below this tree. And then there was a door, I think, off to the side. Because again, I have not played this game in easily a month, and I haven't been here. Since one of my earliest sessions. So. Oops. Now there is a quick save. Is it on here? Is it F5? Okay, so I'll do it on the keyboard. I thought there was something on the controller, though. I thought... like, if you brought up the wheel... Here we go. If you brought up the wheel, that's it. You can quick save from... There you go. That's actually pretty nice. Again, I'll need to double check if that's, like, in Skyrim at all. Maybe there is some implementation like that, but I don't remember there being a quick save through the controller that is as simple. I'm gonna watch this again just because it's been so long. So I did very poorly. But it was a lot of button mashing, so I mean, I guess it's not surprising that I did poorly. I feel like I did a decent... for just wildly button mashing, I feel like I did some damage to it. I definitely was not paying attention to its attacks. It does seem to have like a lunge. It's got like obviously some kind of fireball. Definitely seems to create some ads. Not having much luck dodging the fireballs, though. That's Maybe the trick is to stay close so it does more of these. Those lunge attacks are similar to like... There's a demon... I've been playing some Demon Souls. It seemed... I don't know if it homed. That's a... Homing is a strong word. I don't know if it did that, but I feel like if I'm not doing the dodge, I am not getting out of the way of that fireball. Anyway, so in World 4.1, there's like these red phantom-y kind of like dual katana swordsmen that sort of have like this quick lunge at you, and in that game, it's a pretty once you get used to the idea of what it's going to do, that's when you want it to dodge because it's actually pretty easy. So the question is somebody else throwing fireballs at me as well? So like should I be focusing on these ads? Should I be getting out of the fog? Should I be hesitating a second to dodge the fireball? Is it not really homing? Is it actually... Would I be better with a shield? Do I have a shield? You know, some interesting things here. I see like there's a bleed, but I can't tell if it's doing... What I'm nervous about is I'm not seeing the option for any... I'm not seeing the option for a shield. Did I dump my shields? That's what I'm nervous about. So I was able to get the creature down to like half last time. Poorly. I don't think this thing is worth it. I don't feel like I'm getting any healing. I know it's supposed to heal. Okay, so that's not good. I'm just nervous. I feel like this game is not to be... I mean, I feel like this game is not meant to be as hard as I'm... Flame Torrent. I don't have 4 spirituality. I don't know what weapon I have equipped. I don't want the parrying sword. Let's go... Let's do max damage. I will say I forgot an element of this UI is that this shit, all the details pop up sort of blocking. I don't know if the answer is to put it more to the right. I don't know what the right answer is, but it's right where I'm trying to look. Like I can't see what equipment's underneath it. So that seems a little weird. I feel like I had better luck with the fireball. But I didn't have much luck with either. Like, I feel like I should almost... Okay. So I don't think it's entirely coincidence that that one went decently. Maybe it wasn't entirely skill, but I do feel like there's a couple things I was intentionally doing in that fight. One, I was trying to stay a little close because it seemed like that took care of the fireballs that I was mistiming. Two, I realized when the fireball launches, you got to give it a second to dodge, and I was able to successfully dodge one or two of them there. But I think having the extra damage from the machete wasn't a bad thing. I think I was able to get a couple fireballs off. I think I was able to kill one of the followers. So I think I was able to do a little bit there that I was not doing in previous fights, but it was definitely not a display of pure skill. So I don't feel like I just like, you know what? I just cracked the code and now I'm ready to go tackle that other boss that was giving me trouble. I don't think I'm there. Another question is, who do I talk to? Because if I recall, there are no maps inside a thing. In my fear, maybe it was down here. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's giving me a more concrete point to hit. It's interesting that, like, after the fight, it had a pathway that would take you basically back to the beginning, but that's not actually where you want to go for the next step of the quest.
You have returned. You reek of blood. You reek of purification. You've killed our child and set the fate of the garden on a new path. So, peace will come sooner than I expected. Now, at last, I shall have quiet and slumber. Let the flower bloom in all its beauty and die as it was always meant to. Thank you, Seeker.
All right. Is that the first basic quest I've completed beyond like the opening tutorials? Journal, bestiary, characters lore. I guess I want quest, not journal. Main, side, miscellaneous, completed. Yeah, that's basically the first quest I've completed in the game. Okay, so we've got a world to win. We've got Shadow of the Horns. Let's so this Mist Bearer, I think that was the other boss I wasn't able to do. So let's try a little Unforgettable. Let's track that one. Let me go... no, I don't mean to do that. So yeah, another thing I was screwing up in that fight, because I've been playing Demon's Souls recently, and on the channel, at the time of this recording, Matt and I just spent like the better part of 2 hours talking about Demon's Souls Nexus and the Gates of Boletaria, World 1-1. It was so much fun to just chew the fat about that, and I had a great time. I think Matt, I don't want to speak for him, but I think he did too. And, it was rekindled. It'd been a while since I'd played some Souls of any form, and it definitely rekindled. It stirred something inside of me. Something filthy. And the reason how that relates very directly to here is I wanted to get back into this because I don't want this to be like, yeah, I was having fun. Yeah, it was good. But nobody's put up a Dark Souls 3 run on the channel yet. Like I didn't want to suddenly get lost or like, do I just stream like Demon Souls prep just to, shoot the shit and have some fun. Like I didn't want to lose the thread on this one. I want to get back into this one. I'm done with Babel. Lord of the Rings Online continues, but Fable's in the books, and that clears the way for this. I don't need to shelve this so I can get Fable out of the way or put up 15 videos a week or, anything like that. I can just go back to the regular release schedule that we have in mind as far as these RPGs go. And the CRPGs, I should say. The actual RPGs, man, summer... I wanted to say summer kicked our ass in terms of, like, the scheduling, but I gotta tell you, like, 2025 has been a rough year for us to get together and figure out how to get some gaming in. I don't know how many sessions in total we've had where all three of us have been available, but it is relatively few and far between. So here's what I'm getting distracted again. I'm like, can I get up there? Is there something for me to do up there? How do I get up there? How do I get up? Like if I go to the wall, if I go to this mountain, can I, suddenly that's how I'm not getting anything done. But it's also why I love these games, as I say over and over. But yeah, 2025 has not been an amazing year for us in terms of free time. But we've gotten a couple sessions again as of this recording. We've gotten, by the time this goes up, like definitely at least 2 Rosewood Abbey. It's powered by the Apocalypse, carved from Brindlewood Bay. Brindlewood? I think so. PBTA kind of game. It's basically like PBTA version of The Name of the Rose, which is, if you watch those recordings, I flat out say it's one of my all-time favorite books, like, ever. So I genuinely love that book. It's not for everybody, but I love that book. Let's see what I can do for a cooking pot. Okay. Okay, so it's about almost 10 o'clock. So let's go until... How do I... Is it like quarter days? Is that how it works? I'm trying to figure out, like, can I find... Oh, there we go. So using the thumbstick does like a quarter day. Using the D-pad seems to give you a little bit more control. And what I actually need to do is, I think it was telling me like I've got skill points and stuff, so I need... Potentially I could level up. What I'm not seeing, though, is where on this map the side quest is. So let's take a look at our quests again. Maybe there's something else. Katrin died in childbirth in one of the cells on the island. Should I tell her husband the truth? I don't know. It's not telling me where she is, and maybe I just haven't uncovered it on the map yet. Whoops. My fear is that she might actually be like inside the walls of the town. Give me 1 second. I'm going to mute my mic and just adjust my microphone a little bit. Okay, I don't know how much noise transfers when I... Horns of the South. I'm not seeing a way to like zoom out Horns of the South. Oh, I'm in the Horns of the South. So okay, let's switch to that. I'm in the Horns of the South. Let's see what that means. There we go. Okay, let's do that. Let's see what that means. Quick save, because I don't know if I've saved since I've beaten that boss. I've done something dumb, so 1 second. We're probably gonna lose audio in game. Okay, should be back. Anyway, yeah, so we've done some Rosewood Abbey. You know, behind the scenes, we've been chatting about spinning Cymberim back up. You know, that was what we were sort of getting into in terms of the official rotation. We had closed out the Cold War espionage game I was running late winter, maybe early spring, like February, March. And that was the last time we were able to really consistently... Maybe we did a session or two of Cymberim somewhere. But that was like the last time we were able to consistently keep things going. And at the time of this recording, it's August. So yeah, it's been nuts. But I for one, I don't want to speak for anybody else, but I for one am hopeful that that we're on the way to being back. It was kind of funny. We were sort of again chatting in our private back channels as we plan things. And we're all like, oh yeah, oh shit, like this is gonna work out and that might work. And you know, like it was said like, you know, guys, like are we back? And then also like 4 comments later, I'm out the next 2 weeks. The week after that, somebody else is out. And so then we realized like, whoops, nope, we're not quite back. We're not quite there. So that's a fast travel point, okay. So let's see if this is like a level transition or if it's just open world, we just go in. Drunken snoring, baby, we've all been there. Okay, so I've got hello, your money or your life, get up soldier, the enemy. I'm just going to go with the polite, which might not work. That might not work.
Whoa, what's happening? In the name of the All Mother, what are you doing? I could have stabbed you. Wait, I haven't seen you before.
I could be a dick, but let's just see what happens if I play it straight.
But we don't just let anybody in, pal. You need to have, things, proof. Things to prove you're safe. For Haven. Yeah.
Here I have this pin. I was told I'd find a safe haven here in the Horns.
This pin. I can't say I see it very clearly in this present moment, but it does look important. Very official. But I remember Fergus said something about all this, these emblems once. Oh, yes, I remember now. I welcome thee, ye, royal person, on behalf of the keepers. You are a great friend to our home. Welcome. Please, speak with Fergus. He's our quartermaster. He runs things around here in the captain's absence. He'll greet thee properly. Have a pleasant rest of the day. Open it up, boys!
Okay, so maybe not the most locked down safe haven, but it's good to be in a town. So let's see. You know what? How do I... Can't remember how to get the... I was curious what the frame rate is, and I'm not remembering. You know what? Let me just Google that real quick on my phone. Steam... Frame... Nope. Let's see. It has an overview, but how do you do it? It's not that important. Or maybe it's up and I just can't see it. Okay, I'm getting 61, 60. Okay.
All mother's tits. I've just about had it with this bunch of repressed virgins. And who might you be? You don't look like one of them.
Calm down.
Oh, do I now? You would be too if you had to deal with those sniveling morons when they're up to something. Don't look at me like that. You don't get as far in life as I have if you can't smell bullshit from a mile away. There's something fishy going on here. But I'll get to the bottom of it. And here's a brilliant idea. You're going to help me.
Interesting. Am I? I might, but not for free. You know what? Let's... Okay, am I?
I just need you to go to Brandon and find out why that slime ball is pretending not to know I'm here. Tell him I'm waiting with his delivery. Although I'm pretty sure he knows this already.
So I'm about to ask who's Brandon now. At one point, I think maybe it was in the last session. Oh, Matt, how you doing? Matt just jumped into the chat. No audio. We're out getting some Korean... Korean corn dogs. That is interesting. I will say this. Matt does not have audio, so he can't hear what I'm saying. But I have always wanted to try Korean food. I have tried Korean, like, I don't know if it's Korean barbecue. I mean, I live near New York City, so there are places to get Korean food, and I have had it a few times, but it's something that I think I really enjoyed, and I have not had it enough. That's more what I'm trying to say. So when he throws out like a Korean corn dog, I'm not 100% sure what that means, because I'm not super familiar with the full breadth of the menu. So I would be very curious. I'd be very curious what that's like. Okay, so anyway, so like I was saying, like I'm trying to, while my family's out of town, I'm going to try and take care of some things. I'm going to try and get some writing in. I'm going to try and focus on this. I'm going to try and, focus on some projects around the house, try to be useful and productive in my fun ways.
No, he's the captain of this entire circus. I thought since they let you in, you must have an in with him. It turns out you know even less than I do. There's something going on, you know? They don't want anybody to know, but I can feel it. I've been doing business with the captain for years now. Then suddenly I found myself stuck here. They won't let me further in, not even to set up camp in the village. But they won't let me out either. Anyway, good luck to you. Come and visit if you need anything.
So 2 things. 1, interesting that they won't let her out. 2, the person she was referring to, what I was trying to get to before I realized Matt was in the chat, was there was a guy out on the other side of the wall that was really pissy about dealing with like some woman in town or something. So that's who I was curious if Brandon was, but it's not. Let's see. Maybe there's something else I can help you with. Let's see that.
You do realize you won't score any points with the Keepers by helping me, right? Those holier-than-thou soldier boys have no idea what it takes to be a merchant in this sorry world. The things we have to do sometimes aren't exactly done according to the rule book.
Okay. I am interested because, again, Stealth Archer, I don't mind playing Thieves. I don't mind doing Dark Brotherhood stuff, so to speak. Thieves Guild is always my favorite guild, aside from Dark Brotherhood in Scrolls games. So, but one thing I have heard about this game, I think I've heard that, like, its faction stuff is pretty good. Maybe not. I don't know. But I thought I've heard that.
There's a woman from the tribes called Nest. She's my supplier. At least, I think she's still working for me. I haven't heard from her in a while. And she was supposed to bring me some really precious cargo. Something the captain wanted me to arrange. You still up for an adventure,
Yeah. Let's check it out.
That's between me and Captain Brandon.
Fair enough.
Secrets of the trade and so on. If you hire me to arrange something, that'd be between you and me. And that's only if you decide to share this kind of information. My guess, and it's only a guess, is that at some point she must have been somewhere around the bay. That beach near the Whale's Tooth. Rumor has it that Bromar No-Face and his thugs are fond of that place, which wouldn't be good news for Nest.
Okay.
Good luck. And don't worry, I'll pay. No matter whether she's dead or alive. Just let me know what happened. And bring back the cargo, if she still has it.
Okay, let's...
Name's Orla. I'm a merchant. Or I try to be, when my business isn't being held hostage by a bunch of idiots who seem to be terrified of women.
Oh, maybe that one person was referring to her.
When I decided to leave Timberwall. Should have stayed there.
Okay, tell me about Timberwall.
You've never been to the merchant capital? Well, you didn't miss much. Yes, it's rich and extravagant, but only if you're rich and extravagant, too. Other than that, it's a place like any other. The same pain and misery hiding behind gilded walls. It's not as exciting as people think. Or, well, maybe it is if you like living with a bunch of backstabbing crooks. Yeah, now I remember what I was thinking when I left that place.
Are you on your way back home?
In Timberwall. Well, we have an estate, but it hasn't felt like home for a long time. I feel like every time I go back, I recognize it less and less. The people are getting greedier and more desperate by the day. Business is slow, I'm not gonna lie. With the weirdness creeping in from the north and bandits everywhere, trade's just not as profitable as it used to be. But I don't know. Being a merchant from Timberwall used to mean craftiness, taking risks, looking for opportunities. Now, they only care about keeping their heads down and preserving their fortunes.
I sense there's a story behind these backstabbing crooks. I will just say, like, not to be like super social commentary kind of thing, but like, if you ever wonder, like, you know, is this person speaking from a place of privilege or some kind of, you know, saying like that? When you say like, oh, we don't have a home anymore back in the main city, well, that's not true. We have a castle, but it hasn't felt like home. The homeless person sleeping against the wall outside the estate is like, oh, fuck you, fuck you. What are you talking about?
Not really. It's more of a requirement if you ever want to be successful in Timberwall. My family is full of them.
Okay. You must have some stories from your time on the road.
Oh, love, plenty. And almost none of them happy. I'll never forget the first time we stumbled upon a place after a cloud of the weirdness oozed through. It was a small settlement, just a few houses. There was this odd, bitter taste in the air. The place was completely abandoned. Or so we thought, until we started finding them, one by one. A man who tried to chop off his legs after they started sprouting antlers. Another one who gouged his eyes out, so he wouldn't have to look at his child melting into the floor. A woman in the farthest corner of the settlement managed to stab herself in the heart before it got to her. I almost dropped it all and ran back to Timberwall that day. I'm still not sure why I didn't. I guess giving up just isn't in my nature.
All right, so maybe Heffen is the person.
Sweet all-mother, is he still whining about that contract? I want it fair and square. My offer was simply better, and Heffen's crap at negotiating. Besides, if you ask me, it's all just posturing. He might have lost the contract for his family, but for him, it was a clear win.
Duck, how you doing? Is her skirt wiggling weirdly? Yes, I do feel like it's got like a weird shimmy to it. I don't know if that's like it was trying to do like wind with the grass and screwing up, or if it's like a graphical glitch. What was that contract anyway?
Trading with the Keep in an official capacity. It means I don't just run this stand. I also handle orders from the captain and the quartermaster. It's a good deal, I won't lie, but it requires a lot of running around. I don't have time to twiddle my thumbs and make nice with the locals like Heffen does.
Yeah, it's like her skirt's an alcoholic that's getting the shakes. Oh yeah, probably the wind. But it's like, yeah, it's pretty nuts. How is that a win for Heffen?
Look, Heffen may seem dim, but he's a sly bastard. I'm not saying he lost on purpose, because I doubt that. But he didn't have to slink back to Connacht with his tail between his legs. He's got his little stall in the village, and he lords over it like a bloody king. Grouch that he is, he fits right in with the rest of those old codgers. Plus, he got his family off his back. All in all, I'd say he's doing quite well for himself.
And then Doug says, yeah, why is there grass inside the house? That is a good question. I don't know why it would be there. I mean, I assume it's just like, you know, they painted the textures or whatever, but let's check out the shop. This is the first time we've been in a shop. Let's see what we can sell. Started to have more arrows than I realize. We've got a lot of stuff that I don't know. I don't remember what it is. Whoops! What I'm sell from stash. I don't know if what I'm trying to figure out is there a other rough ruby garbage? That's basically what I'm looking for. I was trying to figure out what they call it. Garbage. Skip that. Lockpicks are not garbage. I don't know why that's classified as stuff. Let's see what weapons I've got. I've got Arcana Sword, Hexbound's Wand. I feel like I should hold on to these. Accursed Blood Blade increases lifesteal by 2%. Parrying Sword. I don't know if I'm going to use that one. So let's get rid of the Parrying Sword. Two-handed weapons. We got a fishing rod. Let's hold on to that. A big bonk. Thunderous Great Bow, Hexed Bow. I think we can lose. Well, the Hex Bow, I can't use either of them because I don't have 4 Dex, 4 Spirituality. Arrows, again, I have more arrows than I realized, which is good. I don't have the stats for Life Transfusion. I think I'm okay selling this Thorn Helmet. Although, man, because I'm terrible at this game, I do get hit a lot. So Duck asks, wasn't this a board game to some ridiculous Kickstarter? Yes. I'm going to say yes confidently, where my actual answer is yes, I think so. But yes, I believe there was a Tainted Grail board game, like a dark Arthurian. I feel like, Duck, do we know somebody who invested in it? C-Rack? I don't know. For some reason, it sounds familiar. And it was something I was probably deeply tempted by at some point, and I did not bite. And I don't know why. It might have been just because I just couldn't afford it at the time. I don't know what it was. It is a Kickstarter, Deck says. Yes. Yeah. Now, I don't know. I mean, I hope the game's good. You know, for people, you know, that have not seen some of the other ones, this game has surprised me more than I expected. C-Rack could be the one, or maybe Ty. Maybe Ty? Rex? No, he did Conan, I think. Or maybe I have that wrong, too. But yeah, somebody we know over on the Advanced After Combat team, I thought got into this. So I don't know if I can... I don't want to sell the recipe. I'd rather learn them, but no items. Okay, let's see what we can buy. We've got plenty of lockpicks. I don't think we need Traveler's Pants. No, you're right. Rex definitely did King Conan. Yeah. Conan was one I had for a while. And in my typical stupid way, I unloaded it for a bit of a loss, as is the pattern, because I just knew I was never going to get to it. That one was one of those styles of games, like where they go heavy on the minis, that I really like. The Conan universe is the short of it. C-Rack and Rex and I all did the Joan of Arc. Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of, is Joan of Arc. So then maybe we don't know anybody that got the board game of this. I'm sure in my head, the board game version of this is much like those other ones where it's like a minis heavy kind of quasi-adventure game.
Let me guess. Camelot, no? Timberwall, also no? So you're not from the north? Ah, of course.
You must be from Connacht. I should have guessed right away. So, who's in charge there now?
Deck says, or Kyle. So again, if you're from AAC, you know all these guys. That's possible. Kyle always strikes me. He does have, like, I think he's talked about like Heroes Quest, sort of that reboot from the 80s classic. So maybe he's into that kind of game. I always picture him as like a really, in a very respectable way, like a hardcore war gamer. Like he's throwing down big games. I think he has a YouTube channel that I enjoy checking out, and I can't think of it at the moment. I definitely subscribe to it, and I cannot remember what it is at the moment, and I apologize. Because if you're into war games, yeah, he does some really good coverage, does some reviews, talks through turns.
Oh, I was just wondering what's going on out there. Here in the south, we have our own affairs. What happens out there in the world? Well, the news doesn't always travel all the way here.
And they should. It's in our common interest.
You know, people are talking about rising unrest in the north, and a secret coalition preparing a coup at the highest levels of power. And that whole plague thing is just a tool to reach their final goal. The Red Priests are also trying to get something out of it.
And to be honest, it's not gone too bad for them. The Druids are out of the picture already.
Got too many YouTube subscriptions. Kyle's is called War Game Ramble. There we go. Because I was looking at it, I was like, games from the front, but that's Ty. Another channel, Ty, you know, we were mentioning, he might, yeah, he's another guy that, from AAC that's got a good war game channel. I don't know if he posts as regularly as Kyle at War Game Ramble. All right, so to be honest, it's not going too bad for them. The Druids are all out of the picture already. Secret coalition, a coup. So I'm noticing that this guy's sort of jacket is got the loin quivers as well. So I'm wondering if that's just like a weird glitch.
Well, sure. They want to establish a new order on our island. And it's not clear who's involved in the whole mess.
Maybe. Maybe our captain is even involved. Hell knows. They have their people everywhere. Damn it, you could be one of them too. Although when I look at you, I don't think so. You have such a stupid face. With all due respect, of course.
Of course. Respect's appreciated. Yeah, so maybe like this is just a land of like spastic loins instead of like a spastic, I don't know, anything else. How would I recognize someone from a secret coalition?
That's the case. Those sons of bitches are good at hiding. They kinda blend in and live among us. It's hard to tell if it's hideous magic or some other tricks.
Okay, you're suggesting that someone intentionally called the plague. I'm not going to go straight to insulting this guy yet. Let's see what he...
Wait a minute. I'm not suggesting anything here. I'm just thinking out loud.
Just asking questions.
Doesn't make sense that the plague appeared just like that. Out of bloody nowhere? Hell no. It's a high-stakes game.
So what's at stake?
Power over us, of course. Over our bodies and souls. Over Avalon. Over the whole damn course of history.
Yeah, Doug's, funny about just asking questions. Yeah, there's a whole, like, waft of QAnon coming from this guy. You know what? Let's just throw our cards down. You don't look all that smart either.
You see? It takes one to know one.
Oh, okay.
That means we're just pawns. Folks like us won't change anything. But we have to talk out loud. It suits them when everyone keeps their mouth shut.
I've been thinking lately. What if King Arthur is just a stupid fairy tale?
No, you shut your goddamn mouth.
What if the nobles and others involved in the whole conspiracy just made him up? And us peasants eventually just started to believe in it.
One story for everyone. They drilled it into our heads, and drilled until it finally stuck. And then they built statues, wrote books, and everything else.
Duck says, a classic I know you are response. Exactly. It's like, takes one to know one. Rubber, glue, all the hits. Let's see, you might be right. That's bullshit. It's impossible to make something like that up. Okay, so they drilled into our heads, drilled it until it finally stuck. And they built statues, wrote books. So, one story for everyone. They drilled into our heads and drilled until it finally stuck. So I could say that's bullshit. It's impossible to make something like that. I think atheists might posit that he just described religion. They drilled a story into our heads until it stuck. And then they built statues, wrote books, built cathedrals, whatever you want to... you know what? Let's secret handshake this QAnon stuff.
You finally get it.
There we go.
It's just a pity that there are so few like us. Well, we just have to keep going, eh? And while we're at it, I have to get back to work. I'm on duty.
All right. So I don't see like stuff popping up in our journal, but we're getting a little bit of backstory. Assume this can be like a job board. Okay, so this is just going to be like... Hold off on that for now. See what Killian has to say.
Welcome! In the name of our eternally reigning majesty, King Arthur, and the Knights of the Round Tables, I am obliged to inform you that fighting those who actively break the law and reject the rule of the crown is the duty and pride of every subject. As Camelot's representative, I will be paying a bounty of 10 gold pieces for the death of each bandit roving the area, as long as adequate proof is provided. I also recommend checking the bounty board for information on wanted criminals, especially those considered particularly dangerous. Please, state your business.
Okay, so this guy's kind of like Johnny Law. He probably is connected to that bounty board behind us. He, too, has spastic loin syndrome. SLS. You're a representative of Camelot? Sure.
That's correct. My name is Killian. I was sent here from the capital to see how the Horns of the South are handling the bandit problem, and also to encourage the Keepers to fight.
Now, if you've seen previous sessions, you know that a lot of the bandits out in the hills kicked my ass. So if Camelot knows about the bandits, why didn't they send the army?
The situation with the Pict and Del Rita savages is precarious. Too bad we can't get rid of them as easily as we did with the Druids. There have also been rumors that we might soon have a civil war on our hands, so Camelot cannot afford to spread our forces too thin.
So, Doc, I don't know if you're, still sort of checking in or whatever. I'm just curious, like, if you've played games like this, does the Arthurian setting, does it give it a little bit of an edge? Does it matter at all? Is it just another fantasy setting like an Oblivion or Skyrim would be? I wonder if other people are drawn to the fact that it's this style of game, but with Arthurian tropes. Tell me about the situation with the bribes.
There are rumors that the
Duck says, yeah?
unite, and that would mean open war with Camelot. As for those pig savages, they've been growing bold, leaving their forest. For now, it's just been small scrimmages. But who knows how it'll end.
So Dex said, maybe a little. I'm not a super big Arthurian fan. I tried to read La Mort d'Arthur, I don't know, maybe last summer. And as much as I consider myself like enjoying this sort of vibe and setting, I didn't know if I was ready to read like 800 pages of Arthurian whatever. What happened with the Druids?
Well, you've probably heard about the Druids making human sacrifices by stuffing people into wicker puppets and setting them on fire. Well, the people decided to give them a taste of their own medicine. They rounded them all up and then sent them up in smoke. Oh, how they must have howled and sizzled. Too bad I couldn't see it.
So Rex says, I'm getting a more Arthur than I need from Rex's Pendragon adventure. It's fun, but it fills all the Arthur I need. Honestly, I feel like everybody's how much Arthur do you need is extremely small. As an Arthur myself, I hit my limit daily, pretty much first thing in the morning. But that's interesting that you're playing Pendragon. Now, I wonder, like, if Pendragon is just the Arthurian, like, because one of the books I have for Mythras, Mythic Britain, it was a really interesting book, but the, like, starting adventure, whatever the thing is that they give you, basically, within 5 seconds of starting the adventure, you're talking to King Arthur. And I'm just not down with that. Like, I feel like there should be a little buffer between me and, like, the top brass. I don't know if that's what Pendragon's doing, or if it's just that Arthurian vibe. Or maybe you're meant to be playing Knights of the Round Table, and not just knights in that era. They were killed because they were making human sacrifices, or were all the...
Yep, made human sacrifices, prayed to the dark gods, brought the weirdness back. Bunch of bastards. Good thing they're worm food now.
Were they all killed?
Most of them. The survivors have supposedly taken refuge with savages in the woods, and one of them is rumored to be hiding in the Horns area. But whether that was before or after the Charred Conclave, I don't know. Would you like to hear about him?
It says we're doing the starter for Pendragon 6e, and it's similar, but earlier in time. Okay, interesting. Okay. I keep looking over again. My RPGs are right here, but I have shit blocking some of my shelves. A little while ago, we had work done on the house, and we had a bunch of painting done, like, on the walls, and I took down shit, and then I'm lazy, and that stuff I took down still leaning up against the wall. But Pendragon is one. Wait, we see Arthur. Is that in the intro adventure? Seeing Arthur pull the sword from the stone? You know what? I may have read that. Pendragon is a system I really want to play someday. Yes, but hearing stuff like that is the same things I have said about, like, the One Ring, where, like, your patron is Gandalf, and you're like, Jesus Christ, like, man, I am born with some high connections. Or sometimes, like, in like the Star Wars games, like, in this adventure, I reported to Luke Skywalker, and you're just like, okay. So I don't know if I would need to see a young Arthur pull the sword from the stone. I wonder, it's a very unique system. I recommend trying it. I was about to say how, literally, I was wondering if you could sort of, like, when I play the One Ring, I try and keep my distance from, like, the most central of characters in the stories, because it just breaks my suspension of disbelief. I wonder if you could do the same thing with Pendragon, where it's good setting material and you can play a lowly knight. And one of them is rumored to be hiding in the Horns. I'm just, yeah, let's hear about him.
He was lurking near Blood Lake, a small pond where they used to throw the bodies of executed convicts. They say he would fish them out and use his magic to turn them into undead monsters. Supposedly, he started needing some fresher corpses, so he slaughtered one of the keepers. The Horns organized a manhunt. They found him and sentenced him to death. People say that the moment his body touched the surface of Blood Lake, the water turned red and it's been scarred since that day. Some say that Slaughterjag came back from the dead and seeks revenge. But if you ask me, it's just a tale by local simpletons.
So Duck says you could totally remove Arthur from it if you wanted. So that's interesting because, like, one of the things I know that's, you know, and actually Duck's played in it twice. Like I like to run a game setting called Days Vault. And in that, like, it's very grounded in sort of the Middle Ages. And you play, like, ninja spy monks. But it's not like you're, like, at the Vatican on the inner circles of the whole, you know, Catholic Church or the Knights Templar. So, you know, it's a step back. So I wonder if you could do the same thing with Pendragon. Like, it could still be King Arthur's England, but maybe you're not literally the guy on the search for the Holy Grail. We're on session 7 or 8. Oh, that's pretty crazy. Is that being recorded? I feel like I am subscribed to that. And I have not seen, because I feel like I would have listened to it. I'm checking right now on my feed to see if it's popped up. I don't see it. Yes, it's being recorded. Has it been posted? Got like Deeps of Geneva Lake, Curse of Strahd, Oasis of the White Palm, obviously AAC. Oh, not sure if Rex is process. Okay, that's what. Okay, because I was like, I definitely would have checked that out. For those who don't know, like if you discover this on the YouTube, you know, obviously we do our thing here with Tabletop RPGs, and I know we've mentioned it a lot. There's the Alcoholic Adventurer Cabal, which is audio only, but I don't say like as a bad way, like fuck audio only. What are we, peasants? I just mean it, you know, if you want to listen to it, and there's 700 episodes across dozens of systems. It's been going on for years. So, if you're looking for actual plays, you will never run out of stuff to listen to. Let's see, a Civil War.
I don't really have much more to tell. It's hard to get any updates here. I only know that the new Lancelot has not been very popular, and that's putting it mildly. The Witch Morgane would have been burnt at the stake long ago if everyone weren't so afraid of her. And then we have the commoners who seem to keep forgetting their place, and loudly demanding changes. Everything is falling apart.
So Duck says, you do have a face for audio only, Art. Yeah. Yeah, if you're wondering, like, I don't want to interrupt the VO, but I'm seeing the stuff in the chat. So yes, I am told that all the time. Let's see. Yeah, I have a face for audio, and I have like a nasally voice for the silent picture error. So I'm firing on all cylinders. Okay, many people have been claiming the bounties.
None so far. The keepers don't want to risk being turned into pincushions for a mere 10 gold pieces. Besides, the captain banned them from leaving the Horns of the South without a good reason. Too many bandits and not enough keepers.
So I honestly was thinking the same thing, like 10 gold is not a lot for me to go get my ass kicked. Must be boring for you.
Oh, you have no idea. When I heard they were sending me south, to the very place that's crawling with bandits and barbarians from the tribes, I imagine I'd be a little closer to the action, you know? Fighting, gushing blood, screams and such like. I thought the veterans would be showing me their scars and stumps and telling me tales of how they lost their eyes, ears and limbs. Or even better, how they were ripping open throats and bellies. Instead, the only stories I hear are when those fools break their own legs when they get drunk and fall off the walls.
Blood, scars, and stumps, those are your fantasies. Stay in your lane, sir. No, if you like hearing about fighting so much, why aren't you a warrior?
I could be, but many people can swing a sword, but only a few have as sharp and bright a mind as I do. It's just that some people were made for fighting, while others are destined for greater things. Besides, watching and listening gives me enough satisfaction without needing to risk my life.
Whoops. some people are meant to be low-life brass knuckle trash, and some people are meant to be heroes. Okay, blood, scars, and stumps.
Yeah, I've been like this since I was a child. The moment an execution is over, I'm waiting for the next one. And there are quite a lot of them in Camelot. And I like to watch where Mum punished the servants with a whipping. It's just how I am.
Okay, I think we're getting a little bit of an idea why his lower cloak is twitching. Okay, what if nobody claims the bounties and bandits roam freely?
Well, Camelot would send a group of knights with Sir Galahad at the head. And he's not interested in half measures. He'd probably burn down half the garrison. Or hang them. He's done both. By the way, did you know that people who are hanged rarely die from strangulation? Usually the sudden jolt causes the backbone to snap, which separates the head from the body. A while ago I saw someone hanged in the village, and it's true. One snap, and it's done.
Interesting. So we're finally getting our first name from a Knight of the Round Table that I can recognize, and we can either contradict this guy, saying he sounds like a madman, or it's a force to be reckoned. Let's not make an enemy yet. Wow, Dark, yeah.
He's very efficient. Brutal, even by my standards, but efficient.
The fact about hanging was quite interesting. Do you have any other?
Oh, sure, plenty. Did you know that apparently if you cut off someone's head, they don't die straight away, but remain conscious for a few moments?
I mean, this is all true. Duck says, wow, Dark, yeah. Interesting. Anything else?
If someone dies in a damp, closed-off space, sometimes, but very rarely, their body creates a thin layer of wax on the surface of the skin. I heard that a body decomposes in water 4 times faster than on land.
This is all very specific.
I need to think. If I remember anything, I'll let you know.
All right, so we've exhausted his serial killer information.
Oh, hey, before you go, I can see the blood loss in your eyes, you know. It takes one to know one. So here's some friendly advice, free of charge. If you're seeking scum to slay, you'll find bandits in the ruins of a merchant settlement nearby. It's worth visiting if you haven't already.
Murder on demand. Now, this is part of the downside of how I approach these games. That's a quest that I probably... because I've been all around the peripheral. Probably I've encountered some of those bandit camps, and I could have gotten a quest for it and did not. So, but I still haven't gotten to Shadow of the Horns. It's always a tough thing with these kinds of games, and I don't know what to do when I'm streaming them because games kind of grind to a halt when you enter like a town. Nice looking map. Yeah, it's I agree. This, you know, I've said it before, this game I don't think is like a super premium AAA Skyrim level production. I don't know how much off of that it is, but I will say like everything about this game I've really liked.
Oh, a new face. It's always nice to see someone new here. Welcome, welcome. Why didn't I notice you earlier?
You're asking me. I was distracted by that shit on his face.
Yes, my apologies. Ever since breakfast today, I've been sort of lost in thought. I keep thinking of my dear mother's cooking, especially her famous pie. You see, all we got here is venison and fish. Venison, then fish. And then fish, fish, and more fish. I can live with all the bullshit that's thrown at us soldiers. But the longer I live, the more I realize there's not much to live for, except food. And I'd kill for a slice of that pie.
Duck says I'm going to tattoo glasses on my face. That's how I was just looking at him like, goddamn, like what, what happened there? Like I was trying to, it's not like a pince nez where it's like, it's not close enough to the nose. And so the only thing I can imagine holding it up is a thumbtack in the center of his forehead. I don't know. It just sort of threw me a little bit. Let's see, couldn't you just make it yourself?
As if it were that easy. I ain't much of a cook. And Rorik, the one we have here, well, he says we're soldiers, so we can stick our complaints up our asses.
Let's see, if you remember the recipe, I can try.
Really? Sure, I remember well. Here you go.
Okay, we got Mom's Finest Pie. Again, I feel like I can't tell if they're like intentionally trying to be dirty or it just worked out that way. Okay. We've done that. So we're getting some side quests. This is probably something I should have done much earlier in the process instead of wandering the earth for 5 hours. Let's see what's up here. Nope. Let's not get distracted.
Always good to have a little rest.
It's gonna be a blacksmith, I assume.
Boy, friend, a question. Do you know why people always stop and watch a blacksmith at work? Because he's riveting. It's good to see a new face in this sad hole. Oh, of course. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Osbert, local master of hammers and anvils. Do you need your blade sharpened?
Yeah.
Ha! Friend, I wish. But the only task I could use help with might be a bit too delicate for you to handle. Unless you're a master goldsmith, then feel free to prove it, and I'll have work for you immediately. There's just not enough of them to go around. And now that we're on lockdown, there's not much demand for my services either.
Unlike in real life, I am not a master goldsmith in game.
Listen, I said I don't have any jobs, as in things I pay you for doing. That doesn't mean I can't teach you a thing or two. If you're willing to learn, that is. Since you're free to wander about while I'm stuck in the keep, maybe we can make good use of that. You've probably bashed in the skull of a beast or two, right? The alchemists. They're likely snatching up the corpses, using the muck to cook their weird concoctions. But perhaps you'd rather craft yourself some armor from those hides, huh? We should start with something simple. Let's see. I'll give you some notes on how to make armor. You gather the materials and get to work. And when you're done, you can bring it over so I can see what you've made.
Corpse eater armor. Okay. Oh, it's interesting. I'm seeing, because I'm not super familiar with this. So there was a message that was held. So we were talking a little while ago about Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon, the board game. And Duck said, I seem to remember the board game having some controversy.
Well, nothing bad happens today.
Jesus, let me walk away. For being a bit dark and possibly like rapey, which, yeah, some people when they go dark fantasy, they go like into some weird places with women, like
Sometimes it's nice to just sit and think.
Like the tabletop role-playing system, like Fatal, F-A-T-A-L, which is some like stupid acronym. And it's just like, Jesus, man, like that's a window into somebody's psyche that you didn't want. And so I feel, so maybe, yeah, the board game had something like that where you're just like, why did you do that? And says, yeah, it was enough to make it a no for me. Yeah. So I could, maybe that was part of why. That might have been part of why I didn't go all in, because I do like the setting, in the video game, I made a joke that like we stumble into Camelot's first incel, because one of the guys was just like, the way he was talking about like the female merchant we encountered earlier is just kind of like, huh.
Sir, I haven't seen you before. I wasn't expecting any guests, and you don't look like a new recruit. And yet, Odrin let you in. He's not drinking again, I hope.
He's definitely drinking again.
Most unfortunate. But that explains why you just strutted into the horns. I'm afraid I'll have to take action. The name's Fergus, and I assume you already know I'm the quartermaster here. Now state your business. And please, try to be convincing, or the walls of this fortress will be the last thing you'll ever see.
I got this pin from a friend. I assume you know what it means.
Yes, I know. And that's why you're still standing in front of me. However, these pens were only given to certain people. They mean that in times of trouble, these people will always find a safe haven here in the Horns. And that makes me wonder, what happened to your friend? Where is he?
Okay, we got shipwrecked on the way. I assume he's dead. We got shipwrecked. He could have made it. I'll go. I assume he's dead.
If what you're saying is true, he must have had a deal with somebody well above my pay grade, and that leaves only the captain. However, if you're lying, then you might as well have just confessed to the murder of a Knight of the Round Table. But nobody's that much of a fool, I think. Fortunately for you, I've seen my fair share of morons in life, and you don't look like one. Fortunately for me, this pen only means that I'm to make sure you're safe in the Horns. Nothing about helping you out with whatever you're up to. Anyway, welcome to the Horns of the South. Make yourself at home.
All right, above the table, I'm often not mistaken for somebody who's not a moron. Let's see, I'd like to speak with the captain. Is there anything I can help you with? Yeah, let's do this. This looks like it's part of information we've previously collected.
Ninian. I knew the Red Death would take him. Damn shame. He was one of the good ones. You did right bringing this back. The Horns look after their own, even after they're gone. But, now that I think of it, how did you manage to get hold of his tag?
Oh, he wasn't taken by... Right. The Red Priest tortured him in the island asylum.
Tortured? In the asylum? You can't expect me to take that at face value. Brother Rialgan said Ninian was too weak to survive the journey. They came for him, and we even held a symbolic keeper's burial for him. And what were you doing in the island asylum? You look fine, but if you were there, near him...
So Duck says, is there romance in this game? You know, I genuinely have no idea. It's definitely not putting that incredibly front and center the way like Baldur's Gate 3 does, or a lot of BioWare games of late have. Well, of late, I mean, it goes all the way back to like the original Baldur's Gate or Baldur's Gate 2, so I honestly don't know. Let's see, it was a misunderstanding. The Red Priest caught the wrong person. Okay, so do I sound like a loon and mention that I've been talking with King Arthur and now I'm immune?
I'm sorry this happened to you. Still, you have to understand, now that you've told me this, I'll be keeping a close eye on you. No risks can be taken when it comes to the Red Death.
Yeah, Duck says, feels on brand, art is unaware of romance. When the question is asked if romance is dead, I have to Google what certain words in that sentence mean. Have you met Elisa? I don't know if I've met a character named Elisa. I'd like to speak with the captain. Sorry, it's implying it sounds like that there might be some romance. I'd like to speak with the captain. I found out. Let's start with a piece of metal. Do you know what it is?
That's one of our tags. Every soldier gets one when they pledge their loyalty. I just hope the body you took it from was already cold, because killing a keeper would land you in some serious trouble. You know, here's what I'm thinking. If you stumble over any of our fallen keepers out there, bring me their tags. Sure, they all swore to stay here until the bitter end, but they have families who deserve to know what became of them. It's part of my duty, but since I can't send any more beyond these walls, maybe you could lend a hand. I'll pay you for every tag you bring back.
Or Morgan. I don't know if I've met a Morgan either, but I have a terrible memory, and it's been over a month since I just bit my tongue since I last played. But it is very possible, and I feel like I was just economically incentivized to go murder keepers and collect their tags. Capitalism. But let's see who else is here.
If you're here to see the healer, don't bother. He's a quack and a butcher who likes to watch people suffer. Okay,
so yeah, it looks like there's an article about how to get him, like a walkthrough. See, if you're here to see the healer, don't bother. He's a quack and a butcher who likes to watch people suffer. Why do you say that?
I came to him with a toothache, asked him to make me something for the pain, and you know what he did? He said my tooth is rotten, and then sent me to Osbrid to get it pulled out.
So that's just science. So let me side with facts.
Sounds like horse crap. My grandma was smarter than your lot, and she couldn't even read.
She knew how to make a proper potion for toothache. If I were any good at mixing that stuff, I wouldn't need to deal with quacks like Heber.
I even gave him my grandma's recipe, but he said it was no good. Don't know. Probably just didn't like that an old woman from a backwater village was a better healer than him.
I was hoping, why doesn't the medic want to make it?
He says it's no good. Says that if I don't get the tooth pulled out, it'll keep hurting. I told him that's why I need the remedy, to make it stop hurting. But it's like talking to a brick wall.
I was hoping to get the recipe.
You will? Oh, you're a lifesaver. Tooth saver, yeah? No matter.
That is technically not a joke. We got Jan's quarters. Can I just walk in? I guess so. Oh, Jan Haber. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Do I know you? I'm terrible with faces. Either way, glad to make your acquaintance. I'm Jan Heber, a physician raised in Camelot and trained in the Royal Academy.
I don't know what's going on with these glasses. Okay. Let's at least stick to the point.
Lanzo knows very well what he must do. I'm sorry, but there's nothing else I can do for him. Either he removes the tooth, or it will keep hurting. Yes, his grandma's miracle medicine. I honestly don't have time for village superstitions. I had to confiscate the recipe as well, lest he tries making it himself. As if I don't have enough problems already. No, I thought I made myself clear. If you want an excuse to drink yourself to oblivion on moonshine, just drink the moonshine. No need to add other potentially dangerous ingredients.
Potentially dangerous? Like what?
Well, to be fair, the base recipe is pretty harmless. But what if someone decides that if they don't have carnation, it's perfectly fine to substitute it with devil's snare, since the color is more or less the same? Or sage with wolfsbane because, you know, leaves are leaves. I'm sorry, but unfortunately I know these people well enough not to trust them with something like this.
Okay, so if I combine moonshine, carnation, and sage, I'll get the remedy.
What? How do you... You know what? Fine. Do whatever you want. But if it causes you to shit yourself for 3 days straight, don't come running to me.
Okay, let's ask him about that recipe.
It's some local witchcraft I've been trying to make sense of. I guess I'll find out when I try it.
Self-medicating?
Experience is the best teacher. Don't worry, I'm not testing anything on the others. Graham the Mad, a great Camelotian physician, used to say that a real doctor would never give his patient something he hadn't tried on himself first. A wise approach, which I follow myself.
Okay, Graham the Mad, don't you see the irony?
What irony?
Isn't that dangerous?
The pursuit of knowledge is always dangerous. That's why it's reserved for only the bravest of the brave. It takes true guts to face the unknown, to realize just how little you know, and how insignificant you are to the world.
Alright, let's do this. Second most common way to pay for college these days is to become a medical test subject for money.
Oh, that was unexpected. Yeah, take it. What will happen, I have no idea. But please, tell me, if you live to find out.
Okay, is there anything I can help you with? You're not a fan of local remedies.
I was classically trained in the proper art of medicine by the scholars of Camelot. The things they do here, they make no sense. No sense at all. Most of this stuff shouldn't even be effective, yet it seems to work wonders on these simple-minded, tough-bodied people here in the South.
So why do you even study the stuff?
Shipments from Camelot are late, so I'm running low on supplies. If I'm not able to treat them, they'll start complaining. And Fergus doesn't like when people complain, especially when it comes to their health. He truly cares about them, I've got to admit. He doesn't care much about anyone else, though.
Okay, Darren need to sleep. Let's see what's going on there.
I don't dream about anything anymore, so sleep feels like a waste of precious time. Fortunately, back in Camelot, I found a mix of remedies that can keep me awake for a whole week. It was quite popular in our study group.
We're talking 8 balls? What are we doing? Care to share the recipe?
Oh no, every physician needs his secrets. But I can sell you some if you promise not to tell any of the higher-ups.
All right. Possession with intent to sell is occurring right before... Okay, why wouldn't the leadership want to know?
There are side effects. You won't fall asleep for a while, but the moment you do, well, you'll feel like you died and came back to life, only to die again. So you either take the next dose or endure it. I can endure it because I don't have a post to attend to. But our brave soldiers, well, that'd be risky.
And if I do tell someone...
Well, they already trust my word, and I'll be sure to deny everything. Moreover, I'm in the position to raise my prices or to refuse to sell you medicine, whichever suits my mood. I'm honestly quite offended you're even asking.
Okay. All right. Is there anything I can help with?
Why would you, though? Don't you have better things to do?
You know what? That is the most honest reaction from an NPC I may have ever encountered in a computer role-playing game. Every single one of them should be like, the fuck are you doing? Like, you walk into my shop and you're immediately like, hey, what's up? Let's see, not at the moment. I'm trying to get into the Quartermaster's good books.
Aha, got it. So you're up for work not out of the goodness of your heart, but for your own selfish plans.
That's why it's called work. Let's see, that'd be a good summary. Doesn't everyone have an agenda?
Good point. That is a very good point. But all right, if you're a mercenary, then I do have a job for someone who'd be willing to risk their life in exchange for material goods. Straight to the point, eh? All right. I need someone to perform a ritual within a stone circle nearby. You go there, read a spell, do whatever needs to be done, come back and tell me exactly what happened.
Isn't your fascination with druids ... illegal?
In Camelot, maybe, but this far south, nobody cares. I've spent my entire life digging through scrolls and books in pursuit of their knowledge. I've been reading about their rites and the descriptions of their rituals. Look, I'm sure they were onto something. They knew much more than we do, but it feels like there's a veil wrapped tightly around that knowledge. It's like I need to find the right spell, the right ritual, something that will unwrap it for me.
What exactly are you doing here? Getting close.
Diseases. Sometimes cutting people open. Oh, and pulling out teeth seems to be a leading cause of concern for everyone around here. Me pulling teeth in the arse end of the world? My friends back in Camelot would laugh their brains out.
Let's open up the shop to see if he's got anything that might be of interest. He's got some recipes. 400. I'm carrying 1,200 in golds, but I don't know if I'm looking to break the bank. How about health potions? So I can do 10, so that's 450. I can do... I don't know, like 5 times 75 is going to be like 375. I could do 150 for 30. Let's buy a couple of these. I guess I could sell. I always hold on to this kind of stuff because I feel like I never know what recipe's gonna get unlocked, and then suddenly I can make 6 of something and I hoard everything. Objective updated. Okay, so we're making some progress on the dead tooth outside. But one thing I was about to point out, if you look, like, this guy obviously is not sleeping. He's self-medicating. You can see... I mean, honestly, if he was like a heroin addict, you could see the same kind of damage to, like, you know, the veins in your... Speaking of, here's an alchemy station. Let's see if we got anything. Small health potions I can craft because I picked up some stuff. Let's craft many. I can make 2 more. Yeah, again, the bane of my existence alchemy's gone up a little bit. The bane of my existence so far has been a lack of health potions. The disappointing bane of my existence is going to take off, dude. Enjoy. Thanks, Doug. Thanks for jumping into the chat. Yeah, and I hope you're having a good weekend, man. Talk to you soon. Maybe I should be playing around more with some arrows. And maybe I should start, Oh. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I got a stash. That's good. I don't know if I can just do whatever from the stash. So before we do that, let's it's good. I wonder if I wonder if this is something that you can access. I know you can sell from stash. Now I know what that means. Let's go to the inventory. Got a machete. You see, it's covering up all this stuff. 2024 damage, and it increases lifesteal by 2%. Now I don't know if that means it gives you lifesteal when you use it, or if you're using that spell or that kind of status bonus to yourself. I don't know which one it means. So it's 20 to 24 damage. The machete is 27 to 29. That is more. Let's try it just to see what's up. But if it seems to heal me on impact, I'll pay attention to that. For bows, we've got... I don't think I can use the other ones that I have. 24 to 26, so it's a little less because I don't have dex or spirituality. The longbow is what I'm working with. Hex bow. I feel like I could have sold this. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate Duck jumping in and Matt jumping into the chat. It's always fun to shoot the shit with people. Like I said, you know, Duck I've known from the Advanced After Combat, Alcoholic Adventure Cabal. That side of things, you know, obviously there's people in our Discord. Duck's in our Discord. Matt, obviously, because he's part of the channels in our Discord, where we're talking RPGs. So, you know, it's but it's always good to shoot the shit. Okay, so, yeah, again, you know, when we were coming in the front gate, I was like, I wonder if there's any way to get up there. It seems like I'm finding the way to get up there. See if these are just, like, general guards, or... Keeper Pate, okay.
Hey, tell me, can you read?
Yes, I can.
Listen, I'm no good with words. Could you read me a letter from my sister? She's learning how to read and write. Can you believe it? She writes letters to me. I'm so proud of her.
I'll read it for you.
Oh, thanks. Here's the letter.
Okay, brother, it ain't good news. Sorry. Okay, let's read. Brother, it ain't good news. Sorry. A few Red Priests came. They wanted to take Mum and some other folks because of the plague. Our dad and some other man did not agree there was a fight and Father got killed. Now I'm taking care of Mom. She's feeling more and more weak. We won't know if the priests are going to come back or what. It's hard, but she asked me to send her love and tell you to keep going and to do good things. Because that's the most important thing. It's me, Enid. I'm praying for you.
And what did it say?
Oh, okay, so Okay, so yes, everything's fine. They send you their love. Requires a perception of 6 or more. So I like that it's a perception check, so I can sort of like read this guy a little bit. And I don't know if that's always what it is for like lying. There's no deception skill. And maybe this is meant more as a catch-all, but I do find it interesting that using perception for deception, you sort of read the person, like, and sort of construct your approach that way. But I'm just going to go with the truth.
No, you must have misunderstood something. What do I do now? I don't know. I don't know what to do. I should go back to him, right?
You might get caught. You might be accused of desertion and killed. It won't change a thing. Yes, I think you should go. I'm not going to say he should or shouldn't, but, I will just put the consequences out there.
I guess that's true. Yes. Excuse me. I need to be alone.
And I think that fits into the sister's wishes. I think that was... Short swords. I'm good. I don't think there's anybody here. You know what? Let's quick save. I just want to see, like... There we go. Is there, again, if nobody's here to see me, is it okay? So now the question is it marked with that triangle because it's illegal goods? Let's see what those boots are. Nope, wrong one. Let's see, we've got leather boots. We've got leather boots of roots. I don't have practicality, though. If I did, hitting an enemy immobilizes them for 5 seconds. This can only occur once every 60. That seems like it's an automatic effect, which is kind of cool. Got Shoes of the Waning Moon, which needs spirituality and endurance, which increases spell. So I have a number of items that would boost my spell effectiveness if I just got some spirituality. Let's load up some... quick slots. So yeah, as I mentioned, like I'm gonna have some time this week. Oh wait, no, I think liquor's good. I think liquor is how you... There's some potion that needs alcohol content. Gonna have some time this week. My family, every year we go to Cape Cod for a little bit. My wife and her family have been going for literally decades. It's really nice out there. I am saddened that I couldn't go work. I just had a big project come up from work. I wanted to make sure I was available to cover the work. We were paying college tuition, which is expensive, and I don't get paid if I don't work. I don't get vacation time because I'm a sort of a freelancer of sorts. So I sort of... maybe incorrectly, but I sort of made the call like, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the paycheck, basically. Won't give up a week's pay. And hope for the best. Can I read this? Follow the gods. You know what I should be doing? I should be putting books in the stash. Especially if I have, like, recipes. Now, does this mean I haven't read it yet? I think that's what it means when it's gold. Okay, isolate particles from the weirdness, yield a trace elements that resist classification. Or maybe not. Oh, maybe they're quest items. Maybe that's what the gold means, because this broken gong is gold as well. Yeah, okay. So that's what I should do. I should go... That's a recipe. Okay, so let me... Yeah, I'm repeating myself. Let me, No, I need to drop something. What can I drop? I can drop a torch? I don't want to drop the shovel or the fishing pole, because I feel like all this is useful. What else can I drop? Tempted to drop... Well, I don't know if it's going to be enough. I was tempted to drop throwing knives. Recipes. I don't know what to dump. Okay. This is not Dark Souls. Matt says, hey, Matt, how's it going? No, it's not Dark Souls. It's not Demon Souls. I did run... I think, actually, you know, I think I mentioned this to you. I did run World 1, 2 for the research, and it proved harder than I thought. This isn't Bloodborne. No, it's not Bloodborne. So I'm going to say something that Matt will get very upset about. I don't know if I can play Bloodborne anymore. I've actually, now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever beaten Bloodborne. I've gotten to the very, very end boss, and I was playing in a co-op group, start to finish, and it's not quite doable anymore for somewhat sad reasons, so I just don't think I've ever finished it. And then I reloaded it, which I think I did mention to Matt in our Discord at Black Trivia Night. I reloaded some Bloodborne, and the 30 frames per second, it was too choppy. I don't know if I could go back. So I'm gonna try a random undercooked food. Let's try that again. Okay, I can level up. I got a skill tree, so let's figure this out. No, let's do the attributes first. Strength, and no, I screwed it up. So the two things I've been missing are dexterity and spirituality. I'm going to go with some dex. I'm trying to read the emojis here. I can't even tell what they are. Pokemon, it looks like, and a scaredy cat. Yes. Bloodborne is hard. Bloodborne makes me play exactly the way I'm not good at. And I will say the 30 frames per second, it really jammed me up more than I was expecting when I loaded it up on the PlayStation 5. So if they put a 60 frames per second patch out, I would give it another try. I wasn't meaning to call you scaredy cat, just more the shocked face. Okay. Yeah, the problem is I don't have my readers on. Oh, I see. Yeah. So my eye doctor tells me don't wear your glasses for the computer, because if you do, your vision's going to nosedive. So I really try and make it a point. I mean, I don't try. I never wear my glasses on the computer, but when something's a little further away on a smaller smaller print, I lose a little bit of the detail. So let's start. Let's see what we got. General. What do we got? Unarmed, two-handed, which is something I was working on for a while. One-handed, I've taken some, but I think it's time to shields, stamina. I mean, stamina is always useful. Health is always useful, but I think it's time. Oh, it's not time to start bows. I've been doing bows. Let's see. So I get like critical hits with weak spots. I could start zooming while an arrow slows down time, but it drains 20 seconds stamina. That might be helpful because I'm got terrible aim. Lucky shot. Okay. I'm going to do that for now. Back to 5-1 here. Oh, very nice. Yeah, so at the time of this recording, this will go far in the future, but Matt and I, like I was saying, we just did a near 2-hour session talking about Demon Souls, the Nexus, and 1-1. And it's interesting, Matt was saying like he's jumping into 5-1 and you know, so it's not that bad. It's I find it it can be, I don't want to say easy. You never want to just, because then you're just like trying to call people a bitch. But I do find that it's there are elements of it that are annoying and there are elements of it that are not too bad. And I think one of the best parts of all these remasters happening with the Souls series is smoothing out the frame rate in swamp areas like Blighttown. Matt and I were talking about this earlier. So far it's early. So I hope he enjoys it, and I think there's a lot to appreciate in 5-1, and it culminates in one of the more emotionally resonant boss battles at the end of that line. So I root for World 5 to be more palatable because of that.
You're the reason they put me here.
Oh.
You just wait until they let me out. I'll beat you so hard your own mother won't recognize you. Come a little closer so I can spit in your face.
Okay, so if you want to know if there's consequences to what, yeah, so we reported him for being drunk and doing some dereliction of duty. A drunk keeper guarding the gate, you did this to yourself. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Because, like, he just let me waltz in. This was necessary. I'm not trying to be mean.
Nobody asked your opinion. I drink because I want to. I drink because guarding that empty gate is the most boring shit in the world. What's it to you, anyway, huh? Maybe I was drunk, but the gate was guarded. It's not your damn pin, I wouldn't even let you in. But all is not lost. We can still be friends. Listen, just pour something delicious down my throat, huh? And I'll forget this insult. I'm not guarding the gate right this second, am I? There's nothing wrong with having a little sip, right? Come on, don't be like that. Just a drop. That's all I ask.
Let me see. Maybe I would give you some, but I don't have anything like that with me. Forget the booze, preferably forever. You're already drunk enough for a lifetime, or you're right. I mean, honestly, like, I'm not his mom. Like, the actual threat that he posed has been removed. He's not guarding the gate. Give him some Franzia.
I knew it, my friend. I knew we could get along. Oh, delicious. You're the best, you know.
Okay. I just get put off the edge, of course. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that. But yeah, like I was saying, you know, Matt and I, we just did a deep dive on, and I hope
it's nice to have a break.
Where'd that come from? I hope there's more Souls discussions in our future. I feel like it's a good thing to have in our back pocket if like Patrick can't make it, or as Matt joked around recently, or if we just make him watch.
Are you here to keep me company or put me out of my misery?
What?
Just kidding. Love the view, but this weather is killing me.
Is it always so windy here, or maybe your clothes are too thin? It's always so windy here. Let's go with that. Matt, I don't know if you're listening. I can't remember. Are you able to Twitch stream the PlayStation 5? What I didn't know is if there are... I've never tried within PlayStation's... Oh, yes. Do you want me to get off so you can stream Demon's Souls? Like the real stuff.
Always windy. Always.
No. Okay. And is that ability like built into the PlayStation dashboard, or is it because you have like the extra hardware, the classic way to do it? Oh, it's built into the... Oh, interesting. Huh.
You don't say.
I should explore that because...
Beloved quartermaster sent me to freeze my arse off. He said as punishment for spitting on the good name of the keepers. Whatever the hell that means. I just got drunk in the tavern and lost half my pay. And maybe some of my clothes. But I mean, why would he even care? It was my gold. I can spend it how I please.
So, okay, right. So Matt says, yeah, and I can join your party and we can chat if you ever want to do that. That's very cool. So, interesting. So, as we're doing all this soul stuff, like sometimes I feel like it would be interesting to be like, hey, I'm going to run 5-1. And, we just, I don't know if it'd be too distracting to actually do like the bonfire walk with me in the moment like that, but that could be interesting. What I'm trying to figure out, the reason why I suddenly got pensive, is how would I talk into my mic? Now I have an audio device that I think I can plug into the PlayStation. I just need to hook up a different USB-C cable. Right now I have a second computer that I use for work. And I have the second output for this audio device going into that in case I have Zoom calls, but I almost never do. And so I think I could run this into the PlayStation and do that. There are certain audio devices that will let you... that will work with PlayStation, and many of them will not. And I think this Roland is one that will. And I don't know if I still have my Elgato Wave XLR, because that is another device that I know for certain works. And I don't know if I still have mine. If I do, it's like buried on a shelf. All right, so he says you need a mic that goes into your control. Yeah, that is definitely the classic way. Which I never do, and has been part of my... I did a whole video talking about my audio walk of shame, and one of the more complicated things that was a stumbling block that I talked about for far too long in that video was finding audio interfaces that would allow me to use an XLR mic with a PlayStation. And it was... or those compatible ways mine weren't compatible. Yeah, it is a pain in the ass to find ones that actually work with PlayStation. I don't know what it is exactly that makes it hard to do. Like what, I don't know what trips up the PlayStation, like what it, so there's been a few that have worked and I've had some that did not. Like the Rodecaster has a second USB sort of connection that you can do. It definitely did not work with the PlayStation, and it might simply be because it's trying to do like multi-channel shit, like either two XLRs. So maybe that's the thing, is like if it has like two XLR inputs, that might trip up The PlayStation is only expecting 1. Wave XLR, only 1. The Lewitt Connect 6 has 2, but when you are connecting it to the PlayStation, the port you're using is meant to be for like a phone, which is a singular mic input and output. And the Roland Bridgecast has a switch where you switch from computer to a console on the back. And so maybe what that does is it sort of cuts down, like, it sort of simplifies it. So it's like, hey, this is just a 1 in, 1 out. And that gets past PlayStation's check. I don't know. I'll have to check it again. I can't remember. So is there something you need?
Oh, I need a warm coat. And I mean the absolute warmest coat you can get, huh? Osprey might have something in stock or know how to make one. I'd ask myself, but he's not exactly speaking with me these days.
What's going on there? What happened between you and the blacksmith? Yeah, because I actually don't have headphones and a mic that I can plug into my controller. That's why I just started rambling about the other stuff, because I don't have the right equipment.
Stupid. That's what I was. I may or may not have commented on our blacksmith skill. I gave him a blade to sharpen, and when I got it back, it was still dull. Osprey swore he did his job properly. I said he's getting old. And so on and so forth, until it turned out that my mate had played a trick on me.
Oh.
So my sword with another one that was as dull as a stump. I tried to make amends with Osprey, but the old man's pride is as stiff as his steel. Can't say I blame him. Now, here I am, frozen to the bone and in need of a hand. You got one to spare?
So Matt just said he caught the plague. In Demon's Souls, does that cut down your health the way the plague, or whatever it is, cuts down your health in Dark Souls? Like it cuts it down again? Or is it just a rapid poison? Let's see. Sure, I'll get you something.
Thanks, friend. I knew I could count on you.
The warmest coat. Okay, let's track that one, because I think that's going to be a quick... I'm getting a lot of side quests. Again, we're starting to fill... This one's still not complete. Or is it complete? I don't know. Let's see. Silk Road. Prepare a pie. Okay. A recipe with a toothache. Local medic asked me to perform a druidic ritual. Warmest coat. Let's track that. Rapid poison, but I have a regen ring on. Oh, okay, is it enough to keep up, or is it just slow it down enough to help you get by? Not quite. Giant dredgeling with a place Dr. Mask is cool. Yeah, the you know, this is something we were talking about in the Bonfire Walk with me that I was referring to, that we just recorded. Like, the aesthetic of Demon's Souls struck me so immediately at first, and I was really floored. The Plague Doctor Mask, yeah.
Huh. It's for Dan, isn't it? That ungrateful bastard's still on the wall.
Yes, you know what? I don't need to lie.
Disagreement? Sure, you could call it that, and I guess I might have overreacted a bit. But since Dan is on the wall and I'm here, I couldn't tell him that I get it. The prank and all. And I forgave him a long time ago. And now that I think about it, it was a hell of a prank.
Yeah, vibe 5-1 aesthetic. The vibes are strong. The rot, the nature growing. I like it. Yeah. Yeah, like we were saying, like I really hope 5-1 starts at 5. World 5 feels the love now that it doesn't run like shit. Let's see. So you're not mad at all.
Well, he was right. I am old, but inefficient stung a little bit. After all, I did my job well, and his sword is as sharp as Excalibur itself.
Okay, about the coat?
Well, I may not be angry with him anymore, but that doesn't mean I'll work my ass off so that his doesn't freeze. Here's an explanation of how to make it.
Oh.
Feel free to help him out yourself.
Okay, you don't get many visitors?
Not really. Especially since we went into a lockdown a while ago. People used to come and go. Now and then a ship would make a stop at the village below, but nobody's really come around since. Well, since the entire shit show that's going down everywhere. Now that I think of it, you're the first they've let in. What'd you do? Who did you bribe?
I have this pin.
Oh, so you have friends in Camelot. Good for you.
You recognize it?
Of course I do. Those pins are peak craftsmanship, and very rare at that. We only gave them out on Camelot's orders. But when I look at you, well, it's pretty obvious you wouldn't be able to beat a knight. And even if you found one already dead, you'd sooner nick his armor than a pin you knew nothing about. Either way, good for you.
Okay, you mentioned on your lockdown. Oh, Matt's like, boss time, good luck. The World 5 bosses, well, I'll be curious what you think of them. You mentioned you're on lockdown.
Yeah. After we lost 2 squads trying to take back the All-Mother's Temple from the Dalrita, our captain decided that nobody leaves the Horns. Then he shut himself in his office, without leaving us any orders. Fergus is trying to keep the lads occupied, but... just look around. Half of the people here are losing their minds, and the rest are losing their wages on drink.
Okay, you said there's a shit show going on. What's up?
Sometimes I wonder, how many things can go wrong at the same time? They say that misery loves company, but here? It's like we've done something to anger the gods, and they're taking their sweet revenge. First, we started hearing that the weirdness was spreading near Grubwood. Soon after that, we saw waves of bandits approaching from there. Desperate people. They took a lot of our territory. Then, the Dalrita tribes took over the All-Mother's Temple. And after that, the supply chains from Camelot collapsed for some reason. And so on and so forth. We're in quite a pickle, my friend. We've started betting on what's going to happen next. Sea monsters? Who knows?
So Matt says, Leechmonger, yeah, looks fucking awesome, but I just drop down and kill him? I mean, kind of. Kind of easy. Yeah, so again, at the time of this recording, when this goes up, the second episode of Bonfire Walk with Me would have been up for a while. And I think at one point I even say, like, I find some of the bosses in Demon's Souls kind of quaint. He's like, yeah, I mean, that's all I did, and just bashed him through his healing. Yeah. Did you throw some fire on that weapon? Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you do that, forget it. He's just going to evaporate. Yeah. And, yeah, I mean, the bosses, a lot of the time, like, when you put it up against the kinds of things they throw at you, and, I mean, Matt, in our discussions in Bonfire Walk with Me, has mentioned, like, loves Dark Souls 3. Loves Bloodborne. Those games will kick your ass about 100 times more than most of Demon's Souls. So if you're like, I don't know if I can, yeah, Demon's Souls is quite easy in the grand scheme of things. Now, not to throw that word around casually, but I love Elden Ring, but I can tell you Elden Ring's bosses are brutal compared to what you get in Demon's Souls. Let's see, the weirdness started spreading near Grubwood.
Yes, that damn forest north of here was already cursed and creepy. But now, I've heard it's an entirely different level of crazy. They say that some men here started going dark up north. With that, the weirdness started moving. When the weirdness gets here, well, we're fucked. But you know that. Every child has heard the stories.
All right. Just arrived here. Tell me about the bandits.
Truth be told, most of them are just people desperate to survive. When the villagers started dying out because of the weirdness, hunger, or raids, they lost their livelihoods, ended up with nothing to their names, and nowhere to go. So they banded together and started raiding whatever was left. Then they turned to killing each other. They're like rabid wolves. Too bad they're here now, too.
So, Matt, yeah, the thing I believe about World 5 is that the world is much tougher than the bosses. Like, significant. Like the world I will struggle to get to the boss. And then you get to the boss and it's like, oh, okay. But I respect that. And that's sort of what, we were saying a little bit, how like, Demon Souls does things with bosses that they never do again. And maybe it's making it a little too early, too easy sometimes, but it's more lore forward than worrying about the exact combat mechanics. I assume I want to put a Sodden ring on at some point. You rock the Cling ring all game. So the Cling ring, if you don't know Demon's Souls, when you are in like sort of dead form, they don't really do this in later games that I can think of, but when you die, you get half your hit points. If you're in full human form, you get full health. When you're in like zombie form, you get half health, and the Cling ring ups that to 75%. So basically, I play Demon's Souls with the Cling ring on the whole time, and my actual health is 3/4 of what you think it should be. That's something they learned not to do again in Dark Souls. You get your full health, but you might not be able to summon unless you're in like full human form. But they don't jam up your HP. That was a bit of a. But I get it, because they want you to take that risk of being in human form and dying and then shifting your world tendency black, which then... So there's a lot of things at play that are not there in later games that I get why. Okay, the Dal Riata took over All-Mother's Temple.
That's... I don't know. It's hard to explain. They kept to themselves, perched in the mountains near the Forlorn Swords. Then something happened, and suddenly we saw ships arriving near our eastern shores. A couple days later, the tribes took over. One good thing is that the bandits aren't up to fighting with them. One bad thing, we aren't either.
Okay, anything positive going on around here? Yeah, let's see if we can end with a smile.
I heard that dew fell down the stairs and didn't break a single bone.
Huh.
So that's a start. Other than that, no, I can't think of anything.
Okay. Okay, we got a new recipe unlocked for a warm coat. Let's see if we can take a look at that. Quests. Warmest coat. Let's see if it's got something on the map. Let's go back up to... Whoops, didn't mean to do it. Let's go back up to the main quest we were here for. Shadow of the Horns, and see if it sends us anywhere here in town. Doesn't seem to, but again, it doesn't mark it as solved. Let's see if we can talk to the captain. Oh, and I wanted to go to the stash, dump books. All right, so let's I hope it's okay. I've definitely read all of these. I'm nervous that this is... Okay, so what I'm nervous about is quest items. Does it have a... Okay, so let's go over here and see if, readable. I just want to see if there's anything marked specifically quest item. No. So hopefully that's okay. Let's double check, make sure inventory, bag. Like, do I have this letter? Anyway, we'll figure that out.
Just as I thought. If you have friends among the knights, you'll want to talk to the captain. But that's not happening anytime soon.
Okay. Why?
Because I said so. What? Did you really expect that you could just enter our keep and head straight for the captain's quarters? There wouldn't be much point in having walls and guards here if anyone could just do that, would there?
This pinch tell. Let's see. Yeah.
So what?
Just tell me where he is.
Any of my people, or are you just here to wave that pin in my face again? First, show me you care, and then I'll take you to the captain. I can't have every random stray wasting his time. Not now, when the outcome of the war with its tribes is so precarious. I trust we understand each other.
Okay, clear as day, sure.
Come back when you've proven your worth to the Horns of the South. Then we'll talk.
Okay. Okay, I talked to Orlaith. Why can't she leave?
That's between her and the captain. Were it up to me, she'd be long gone. Her presence here distracts my men.
Okay, if you know he's a drunk, why do you keep stationing at the gate?
He's not our first line of defense. The archers are. Every man here needs to have a job. And no offense to Odrin, but let's just say we can afford to lose him.
Ooh. Having a drunk guard at the front gate is not a very good look.
I'm sure the hordes of visitors clamoring at our gates can survive the insult.
Okay. Flooded village.
It used to belong to the keep. You could say it was its beating heart. That village was where our lighthouses led the ships, and where the workers lived with their families. Ah, those must have been the days. But then the ships stopped coming, and there were less and less new keepers, and the others left looking for a better life. Until, at last, the sea took most of it.
So you just abandoned it? Yeah.
What else was there to do? There weren't enough people to live there, and nobody wanted to anyway. Not since the monsters started coming out of the sea. We wiped out most of them, but new ones showed up every now and then. Marg, our hunter, keeps an eye on the place. You can talk to him if you want.
Okay, is there anything interesting there?
Depends on your idea of interesting. There's a weird statue with a gong, but I'm not sure how much of it is left. Other than that, probably just damp rubble. I don't know. Ask Marg. I'm pretty sure he just sits there all day instead of hunting. No wonder we've been eating nothing but fish.
I'm gonna do it. Mention Excalibur.
Excalibur? You want to pull it out? That's a good one. Well, be my guest. If you think you can, go ahead. But unless you're King Arthur reborn, I wouldn't count on it.
Okay, so I feel like that's going to be... You know, they said, like, you got to get the 4 pieces of King Arthur, so...
If you need rest, You can sleep in the barracks. It's no royal chamber, but it's better to sleep under a roof than under the stars, right? Especially in this horrible weather.
So maybe once I collect all the parts. Maybe it'll let me give it a shot. I was curious if that was actually...
You're failing miserably.
Yeah, no, I know. Oh, shit, I didn't mean to do that. Well, it's starting to get late at night, so maybe it is good to see if I can find the barracks. No? Is it on the map? Stash. Boom. Mom's finest pie. Orlaith. Bounty board. Not able to discern where the barracks might be from the map. Let's do a quick... Jan's quarters, that's the healer. Let's see what's in the kitchen.
You? Ah, shit. Another mouth to feed. Fergus must have been off his rocker if he thinks I can feed everyone with the little he gives me. I'm serious. If we don't open the keep soon, we'll have to start eating rats. Not that I can't cook them in a way that makes you think it's chicken.
Let's see. Is there anywhere around here to get a good meal?
You're trying to piss me off, aren't you? If you don't like my food, then get lost. Go to Run's Tavern and stop wasting my time.
Where's the tavern?
In the fishing village. That's where the guards retire to sit on their asses and fart. Or sit, fart, and drink themselves into a stupor.
Doesn't seem like you're in a hurry to retire.
Hell no. I'd rather stay useful here and drop dead at my stove than waste space over there. If someone's still fit to work but chooses to laze around all day instead, they should be kicked out, not rewarded with free beer. Oh, this is new. Maybe we'll get along after all. The dimwits here never want to learn, only eat.
Are you always just saying this feels like a risk, but I'll go for it.
It's a good thing you didn't start with calm down, or I'd have shoved my cleaver up your arse. Yeah, I'm pissed off. Because our gracious sovereigns recently decided to let in a bunch of refugees from the villages. They say they're running from the weirdness, but who knows, really? So now I have even more hungry mouths to feed. And since the captain ordered the letdown of our keep, the supplies are dwindling a lot faster than I'd like. Of course, I can make you 1,000 different dishes based on fish and crowds. But come on, even the keepers need some variety in their lives.
Okay, I can go outside the walls. Do you need anything specific? Yeah, let's talk.
Wow, an adventurer, are you? Ah, I'm good for now. But if you find something interesting, you can drop it off here. And, as a sign of goodwill, I'll allow you free reign of my kitchen. If you need to cook something, go ahead.
Okay. Sell from stash. Recipes. Again, I feel like I've read this, but I'm going to hold it. So if I can use the kitchen, where... Is it this stove, maybe? Okay, Mom's Pie. That's the quest. Requires an egg, flour, blueberries. Okay. Somebody was asking, do I assume I want to put the sodden ring on at some point. Is that something that like resists poison in Demon Souls? I imagine if I'm running around in World 5, I probably, if I would have the cling ring to get the 75% HP instead of the 50. And if there was something that helped me resist poison, I would probably be wearing that. Yeah. Barracks, nice, okay. Walk in deep water. Oh, okay. Does it let you move a little faster in deep water? There's a very good chance. Yeah, because if you're in 5-2, there's definitely some tricky fights where you have to either make the most of like a bit of land where you can actually move at a normal speed, or it gets very tricky. Let's see. 6, 7. Let's go to 7. Oh, I'm well rested. Nice, because I was indoors. That's good. Okay, so this looks like somebody around an archer. I don't know if we've spoken to him yet.
Good to see you again. The pledge today was very interesting, wasn't it? The certainty in Quartermaster Aymer's voice. Beautiful. Makes one eager to start work.
Oh, he said Quartermaster Aymer's, but I think you meant Fergus. Fergus. I don't think we met. Okay, so there is something weird going on here.
Huh? Ah, yes, of course. So, what do you need this time? The pass again? Are we planning a trip to the Stale Lamb? Hey, not this time, my friend. I've run out of ink. I'm waiting for a delivery. Steward Orla will let me know when more arrives. In the meantime, I need to ask you for a favor. So, you in? For the sake of our long friendship?
Yeah. Steward Orlaith, I'm pretty sure she doesn't hold that position here. So, the Stale Lamb, what are you talking about? Past what past? You know what? Let's just, let's roll with it and see what info we can glean.
You do know it needs to stay between us. Do you understand? Say you understand.
I understand.
Fantastic. So, here's the thing. On a recent night out at Ron's, it seems I may have left some sensitive documents at the bar. Documents, with Captain Fergus' seal. But not necessarily sealed by him. You know what I mean. I can't really go there right now. Could you get them back for me? I'm sure it won't be too much of a problem.
Sure, I'll do it.
Splendid. When you have the documents, meet me at the third crowing of the rooster. Or just find me. I'll be around.
Okay, Creed, okay. Is there anything else? No.
See you next.
This guy looks unfamiliar.
You all right, newbie? Have you been to see the refugees? I can't believe poor Cole was put in a cage.
No, I haven't. Who's Cole?
Hey, what a mess. Cole came to us with a group of refugees from some nearby villages. They were looking for shelter from, well, everything that's been happening here. Bandits, the weirdness, the Del Reader, hunger. I was happy Fergus let them in and allowed them to stay. You'll meet them in the village. They live in the buildings up high. Not long ago, though, Cole started acting very strange, erratic, sometimes even aggressive. One of our keepers, Old Mahon, tried to calm him down. He might have used too much force, and Cole felt compelled to defend himself. He bit Old Mahon. And since then, the old fool has been lying in the infirmary. Frankly, I think Mahon brought it on himself. They shouldn't have put that poor man in a cage.
I'm trying to recall.
Wait. If you ever meet Patrice, please give her those flowers. I know it's not much, but I'd like her to know she's not alone. I support her and the other refugees. And I'm sure there are more of us who do.
Okay, Keeper Deacon asks us to deliver flowers to Beatrice as a gesture of his sympathy. Let's see if that's on the map. Okay, yeah, it is. So we can... This looks like it's going to go to that keep. I wonder if I can get there. It's right to my left. If I... Maybe it's across the top. Barracks. Mention an infirmary. I haven't been there. So if I go to the southwest, I can make my way down to the village. Kind of curious what that is, though. Quick save real fast. So that's the kind of the thing with these games, right? It feels like you sort of have to do... You sort of have to take your medicine so then you can have a stack of side quests or main quests to go complete as you run out in the wild. This is the part that I find way more interesting. Like, the talking to NPCs is fine, but it makes me keep itching, like, okay, keep itching to get back out there and explore.
Hey, you're heading to the village, right? Tiernan should let you in. Take this medicine to my father, will you? Goban is a loud man. You shouldn't have trouble finding him.
I'll take it.
I can't promise that talking to him will be any fun. Come to me afterwards.
Right, your father lives in the village. What's wrong? Why won't Tiernan let you in? Are the keepers allowed to have wives and children? Why the second lighthouse?
He used to serve too. In fact, he was the builder before me. Now he's just an old fart angry at the world.
But a father is a father, right? We may hate each other, but as long as I can help him, I will. Hence the medicine.
Apologies, I mute when I yawn, but I was mentioning, my family, they're traveling today, but that involved, my son spent the summer doing research at school, and he got home yesterday, like late in the evening, and then we had to do like a real quick turnaround so they could leave early this morning. So I was up very late trying to help out where I could, and then I was up very early this morning again to try and help out where I could. What's wrong with your father?
If Heber doesn't know, then I don't either. So we keep trying.
Why won't Tiernan let you in?
Because he received orders not to let any keeper through without a pass. And I don't have one. I've already used mine. Guess what I used it on? That's right, bringing medicine to my father. When that Egypt gets an order, he's like a priest who stumbled into an orgy. He's got a stick up his ass. Nothing gets through him.
Okay, are keepers allowed to have wives and children?
Not all keepers have been here their entire life, you know? He got me before he joined the Horns. Serves me right for wanting to find him, stupid son of a bitch. If only I knew what it would entail.
Do you regret becoming a keeper?
I don't know. Following my old man here was all I ever wanted. Never saw myself as anything else. Tried picturing myself as a husband, a father once. But, nah. I wouldn't know how to raise a kid. I'd just mess them up. Like father, like son, I guess.
So anyone can become a keeper.
Well, no, of course not. We're not priestesses of the All-Mother. A woman can be an old crone and still devote herself to the All-Mother. But a man's got to have some fight left in him to be a keeper. Old enough to hold a sword, young enough to not break under its weight. We all got different roles around the keep, sure. But at the core, we're warriors. Don't forget that.
All right. Why the second? Yeah. Why the second lighthouse?
If I had a gold coin for every time someone asked me that, I could fund the damn thing myself. Look, it's Camelot's orders. I get paid to follow them, not to question them. If they want to throw money at us to keep up appearances, that's their problem. I'm not about to stop them. Stay out of trouble.
Okay. Yeah, let's track that. Since we're headed there anyway. Can we go in? No.
Oh, Mother have mercy. Not another one. If I let you pass, will you promise not to make any trouble?
I can try.
That's just my luck. Take the post, Tiernan, they told me. You'll be looking after a village full of old farts. That's practically early retirement, they said. What a load of crap. There's always something. If it's not the deck falling apart, it's a refugee running around biting people.
Oh, yeah, yeah. What happened to the deck?
The deck? Nah, just old wood. Honestly, it's the least of my problems. But I've got no way to fix it. Dara's always busy with his lighthouse, and every time I try to do it myself, someone else needs me for something. I can't even sneak out to the tavern because last time some rich bint started complaining that everything here smells of fish. That's a seaside village. What else would it smell of?
I can help you fix the deck, okay.
You do that? That would be a huge relief. Well, maybe not huge. There are bigger problems, but it'd be a start. Truth be told, I don't know why they want it so badly. It's for boats. No one here even uses boats. But, well, you know how it is with old folks. Once they get fixated on something, there's no point in arguing. I'd pay if I could, but this was supposed to be my job. The budget's long gone. But if you're interested, I could teach you a thing or two about home decor. Not exactly standard keeper knowledge, but, well, we all have our secrets.
Okay, so maybe there's... You buy a house? I mean, again, like, if it's like a Skyrim game, yeah, that's part of it.
Surprised? Can't blame you. This might sound odd coming from someone stationed at a glorified fish bucket, but I've got a thing for furniture. The only thing more mismatched than the barracks around here is my career choice. But, yeah, I like imagining places where things fit. Where chairs don't wobble. Tables don't look like someone hacked them together with a dull axe, and beds. Well, beds don't feel like they're plotting your murder while you sleep.
Wouldn't have guessed you're into furniture. I mean, would you guess that anybody was ever into furniture?
Not exactly a secret I broadcast. Most folks see me as Tiernan the Grumbler. But, hey, we've all got something that keeps us sane, right? Mine just happens to be daydreaming about nicer chairs.
Alright, you said a refugee is biting people. Now, that's something, yeah, we've heard about.
Well, to be fair, he only bit one person. But it was a keeper. I know Mahone can be a piece of shit sometimes, but gods. Now both of them are sick. And Haber's got no clue what's wrong. Which is the only reason that refugee isn't dead. Yet. So, he's sitting in a cage. His wife's crying all day and everyone's pissed. Meanwhile, I'm stuck in the middle of it all.
All right, tell me more about that rich bint that you mentioned.
Oh, she's a real piece of work, that one. Her name's Lady Elisa. Something. I don't remember. She came here with her husband. Poor man. I never heard him get a word in. You know, sometimes I regret not getting married. But if I had a wife like her, I'd just end up being a keeper all over again.
Okay, let's see. Has anything else happened?
No, not really. Fortunately.
Okay, maybe this job isn't for you.
No need to tell me that. But I can't just go back to patrolling the walls. I'd be a laughingstock. I'd rather sit here and hope everything works itself out. I mean, everyone's gotta die someday, right? So whether it's me or them, at least my problems will be over.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a dark, sort of fatalistic way to approach.
See you around.
Okay, let's not track that yet. Let's get down to the village, see if we can deliver flowers, deliver potion to the man's father. Get distracted en route and see what's up top of this hill.
I wish Morris were here with me already. Do you need help settling in, dear? This isn't the best day to start a new life in this place, but we don't always get to choose, do we? What a nasty business with that boy. I'm almost glad my Morris isn't here for this. He's such a bleeding heart.
What happened with that boy?
Oh, I'm not sure, love. I don't move around too much. I just heard about that fight with the road keeper, and now Paul Cole's locked up in a cage. Him and Patrice make such a lovely young couple. They remind me of Morris and me when we were their age.
I'm not a refugee. I just have some business in the keep. Okay. Let's start with this. Let's get some backstory.
At first, it wasn't so bad. But now it gets worse every day. We just sit around here, doing nothing. Don't get me wrong, we have food, we have a roof over our heads, and we're grateful for that. But no one trusts us enough to let us do any work. None of us wants to be a freeloader, as they call us. I wouldn't mind a task or two to earn my keep and to take my mind off my troubles. I might not be all hale and hearty, but I've still got two good hands, which is more than you can say about some of the codgers living here.
Not a refugee?
I'm sorry, dear. I hope I didn't offend you. I'm still not used to all this. You see, I was born in Little Grove and thought I would live out the rest of my life there, working in the orchards in the mornings and drinking warm cider with my beloved in the evenings. We never wanted to see the world. I guess sometimes the world doesn't give us a choice, does it?
Avalon is a harsh land.
That's what people say, but I never agreed. I weathered many storms with my Morris, coming out stronger each time. Avalon taught us to cherish the little joys of our everyday life. Without those lessons, we wouldn't have survived what happened to our village.
Alright, what happened to you?
Little Grove was raided by bandits, a local gang that had been terrorizing the area for months, growing in numbers with each raid. Their leader, Bald Kate they called her, somehow got hold of a branding iron used to mark outlaws. After pillaging a village, she'd brand some men and women of her choosing. That way, Kate made sure nobody would ever help them, and that they'd have no choice but to turn to her if they wanted to survive. My Morris used to be a skilled tanner. I guess that's why she picked him.
It's a brutal but efficient way of recruitment.
It is, isn't it? Kate is nothing if not resourceful. It's a shame she doesn't put that talent into helping people instead of hurting them.
Where's your husband? I think this is going to end poorly, but...
I don't know. The keeper at the gate turned Morris away because of the brand on his face. I would have left with him. But I was sick and exhausted from the journey, so I promised to join him when I got better. Except now, I've no idea where to find him.
Do you know where he might have gone?
No. He only promised that he'd find somewhere safe, but I'm not sure if there is any such place left in the south.
You know, that happens on my machine every once in a while. Like, it's like something disconnects and I don't have no idea what it is, and I don't know why. Sorry about that. I'll keep an eye out for your husband.
Oh, Mother bless you, my dear. That's all I could ask for. Please, let me know as soon as you learn anything. Stay safe, dear.
Okay, branded and exiled. Okay. You know what? Let's not get too distracted. But yeah, I was sort of saying, like, this is sort of like, you know, taking your medicine. You got to talk to a bunch of people to line up the quests. But you know, talking with Matt, you know, as he's playing Demon Souls, like, it's one of the many things about the Souls games. Like, they're so streamable. That makes sense because there's not much dialogue. So, like, the action doesn't stop. And then I just went a little boss and stop. Doesn't stop. And the gameplay is awesome. Where here we're spending, like, this session's basically been all talking.
Bloody hell, look at this! The whole place is in a shambles. Bunch of decrepit old coots. They do nothing but shuffle around, stare at walls, and sleep under leaking roofs. Can't even hammer a nail properly. I'm telling you, if I was still working here, this place wouldn't be falling apart. But I'm not. Oh, shite. I can't even stand to look at it, let alone live here. And who are you? What you want? You another one of Durar's freeloaders?
Well, yes. You sent me.
I bloody knew it. Retirement my arse. It's shit. Never a moment of peace. At least when I was still working, there was always something to do. Now, so, what you want?
Durag asked me to bring you your medicine.
One day my boy got it into his stupid head that old Gaban is ill. Bullshit. They're all telling me I should do something about it, or else I'm done for. I'll be dead as a doornail in no time. Ha! Like hell I will. I'm still here, ain't I? I've served my time. I've lived me life. And now you can all kiss my arse. So there.
Yeah, because like Souls games, they have like pretty cinematically exciting combat. I mean, when you're watching a good player. The locations, the art driving them are stunning to look at. So there's... And I don't sit here and say like, oh, they crafted those games to be streamable, but there's something to it. Okay, perception 25. You don't look so good. Maybe you should do something about it. All right, suit yourself. Let's give the perception check a shot. I have a feeling I'm going to fail it.
Peace and quiet. Good one. I'll only have my peace and quiet when I'm finally dead. And that ain't going to happen soon. At least when I'm with Finley, I don't need to listen to his nagging. Listen, they wanted Heber, that healer from the keep, to come here. He did. They wanted him to look me over. He did. Then he just threw up his hands, mumbled something to himself, and that was it. Hell, I should have been an healer. Wouldn't mind going around being a pain in everyone's arse for a living. These herbs. No idea what they're for. Heber said he doesn't know what's wrong with me, so there's no illness. I'm fit as a fiddle. Good thing that at least the one guy who hangs around, Finley's the name, doesn't nag me all the time.
Durag wanted to see you, but he didn't have a pass. I think he cares.
Yeah, right. He'd better focus on his job.
Okay. That didn't... let's see. Finley's your caregiver?
What's with all the questions? Get me a drink and maybe I'll consider talking.
Bottoms up. I'll give him some wine.
So, what was your question?
Finley's your caregiver.
Hold on. Finley is not my caregiver. He's my helper at most. Hey, first of all, I'm not a cripple who needs a decrepit dimwit running round after me. Secondly, Do you know the problem with having a helper who's mute? He doesn't bloody talk. I mean, it's not all bad. At least I don't have to listen to even more bullshit. He puffs up like a marshmallow every time he tries to say something. But I don't understand shit.
So you're Durak's father.
What's with all the questions?
Oh, okay, we're in that.
Drink, and maybe I'll consider talking. Ah. So, what was your question? That's what he says anyway. But yeah, he's my blood. Eager like me, and look at that bulbous nose. Won't disown what's clearly mine. But I ain't gonna talk with a stranger.
Father and son together in the Horns of the South must be rare.
It's like half the blighters here don't have working peckers. Or they've never even touched a woman.
Tell me about your service in the Horns of the South.
Oh, so many questions. How about a drink first, and then we'll talk? Ah. So, what was your question?
All right, let's try that again.
You see, back in the day, being a keeper was a serious business. Now, don't even get me started. You used to come here with a mission, not to run away from your bloody mother. Nowadays, lads get brought here by their own kin when they've had enough of them, or they think the Orns can hide them from the law. No, back in my day, there was none of this scum. I came here to serve. My girl cried when I left her, but I've always known this is where I wanted to be. How was I supposed to know she had a bloody bun in the oven? By the time the wean was born, I was already planning the lighthouse's construction.
Durak came here for you?
Jack knows what he came here for. That's not my problem anymore, and I don't stick my nose in anyone else's business.
You went off topic when I asked you about your service in the Horns.
Oh, so many questions.
Oh, okay.
How about a drink first, and then we'll talk? Ah. So, what was your question? I'm starting to like you, stranger. And trust me, it's been a long time since I liked, well, anybody. I liked me brothers in arms back in my glory days. Good lads, every damn one of them. Tough as nails, loyal to a fault. A kind of men you'd want beside you in the darkest holes of Avalon. But they're gone now, all of them. The old captain got it in his head to send us down to rediscover some mouldy tunnels under the keep. Damn fool mission that was. We went in together, but I was the only one to come back out. I can still see all their faces when I close my eyes. A hard loss it was, but I'm still here. Though some days I wonder why.
All right, tell me more about those tunnels. I assume it's going to be another bottle of wine.
Getting a bit curious, I see.
Okay.
Hand me a drink, and I'll answer. Maybe. Ah. So, what was your question? Those tunnels, right. Well, me and the lads went down there to check if we could repurpose them under the Orns. Damn fool mission that was. But here wasn't just some empty caves. There were monsters, straight out of Age of Legends. Sick stuff. Stuff that get under your skin. Looked like... hell, memory's all twisted up now. Like a bloody nightmare mixed with shadows that don't belong. Want to know more? Speak with Fergus. He's in charge of this shit show now. Now, I propose a toast to those lost souls. This one's on me.
To your brothers in arms, may they rest in peace. So he might be sending us back up to Fergus up top.
Peace, you say? Problem is, sometimes I think they never died. They haunt me in my dreams, you know? Bloody bastards. I swear I wanted to go back and retrieve their bodies. But our late captain, make Grindelows piss on his grave, forbade me from going back. But when I drink, I usually pass out, and then I don't remember my dreams. So, I drink. My brothers deserved better.
Okay. So Matt is back. He says Dirty Colossus is next. Yes, that is the next boss in 5-2. I will be curious what you think of that when you get there. Again, 5-2, I found the run to Dirty Colossus challenging. I did not find Dirty Colossus itself the hardest boss. Here's Mute Finley, who's the sort of caretaker for the guy we were just talking to. And then Matt asks, are you enjoying this? Yes, very, very much. It's a trick to stream, but people, because of what I've sort of said this, sort of to the ether, maybe to Duck when he was on earlier. It's there's a lot of dialogue, and that's not like visually exciting gameplay. But if you're watching it for the story, I try not to talk over the people when they're doing the voice acting. But so like this session has been basically all sort of conversations and role playing, and it might make for a slow stream, but the game itself is very good for my taste, for what I like. It's again, I've mentioned this in earlier sessions, but if you haven't seen them, it's very much in the vein, obviously, of a Skyrim, but its setting and vibe is more dark fantasy, so it leans more into the kinds of things I like. It's Arthurian in its sort of general background, which is another thing that that I go for. You're taking care of the old builder? Nods yes. Do you know what's wrong with him? So yeah, that's the long version. The short answer is I do like this game very much. If you like Oblivion or Skyrim style games, it's in that vein. And yeah, and I think it's actually, oh man, I don't know if at the time of this recording, it won't matter when it goes up. It might be currently on sale, but I also think that it's generally cheaper than like a typical game. Let me just double check. Tainted Grail, like it's not like an $80 game or whatever. That's 70, I know. It's $45. And I don't know, and that's not a sale. That's just the price. So it's like a, a cheaper title, but so it's not going to give you maybe 500 hours of a Skyrim. But I think you'll definitely get your money's worth if this kind of game is your thing. Do you know what's wrong with them? Shrug of the shoulders. You must know more. I could lie to him. Let me see if I can persuade. Does this have something to do with his son? Another shrug. Does Durak finish him? Jesus. Visit him often. Doesn't he have any time to visit his old man? Shrug. Did they have a fight? Yeah. A nod. We're doing well. Was it a long time ago? Shrug of the shoulder. Do you know what it was about? Shrug of the shoulder. I had a persuade option. Let's see if it lets me do it. You must know what happened. You know them both well. Sort of a frustrated throwing up of the arms. Did they fight about anything related to work? Yes. Something to do with the construction of the lighthouse. Shrug of the shoulder. Something to do with his disability. A nod, yes. Something to do with the workers. No. Okay, so it was something about his disability. Will Goban ever tell me about it? No. Is there anybody else who knows what happens? Shrug of the shoulder. Could the quartermaster tell me anything about the accident? No. Okay. Could his son? Yes. Okay. Thanks for everything. Is there anything I can do for you? No. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Finley. So that takes care of that quest. Did that make it, is it completed? Pure Morning. Yes, so that's a completed quest. Let's, where's the flowers? A Carnation to remember. We're going to bring flowers to Beatrice. Let's track that one. So she's hanging out here with somebody in a cage. I don't know if she's related or if she's sweet on him. That could start explaining things if he's...
What do you want? To gawk at the beast? Well, I'll have to disappoint you. My Cole is not the monster you all believe him to be.
I assume his mother, maybe? Has something happened?
So you really don't know? If you're not from here, I'm not sure what could have brought you to this hellhole. But you have my sympathies. Just know that Cole isn't like that. Something is poisoning his mind and soul. I don't know what it is, or why it happened to Cole. But now we're all at the mercy of those damned keepers.
Okay. Tell me about what happened.
One evening there was a quarrel between our group, the villagers, and one of the keepers. They'd had a bit too much to drink and let some comments slip. They hurled insults at us, saying there's no place for us here, that we should just get the hell out of here because things are hard for everyone. Hard? Sure. I bet that bunch of wimps wouldn't last a week outside. All they do is sit in that keep of theirs, thinking they're the defenders of justice.
What happened next?
Well, Cole went mad. I've never seen him like that before. He attacked that keeper and bit him. It was serious, but the keeper survived. If it weren't for the other men from the village, things could have ended very differently. Afterwards, they chained Cole up and locked him in a cage. His condition started to worsen. They said a monster like him doesn't deserve a jail cell. Jail cells are for humans. Bastards.
Flying bugs never good in Soulsborne. You be very careful of those bugs. They might have something that's a bit of a one-shotty kind of thing. They didn't kill him on the spot after something like that?
Surprising, isn't it? It seems that Quartermaster Fergus banned any kind of vigilante behaviour. And the local healer said he wants to make sure whatever made Cole this way isn't contagious. So as long as that question remains unanswered, we're at a standstill. But honestly, if anything happens to that keeper, I have no doubt Cole will be killed and will be thrown out of the keep.
Alright, when did Cole start feeling worse?
This might sound silly, but before we reached the keep, we came near a strange structure. The locals call it the Arch Spire. In the morning, we realised everyone had a strange dream, but it was a little different for each of us. Cole started acting weird after that, and in time, it only got worse.
Did he tell you what his dream was about? Let's, where was your camp? No, let's start with the dream.
No, only that, well, it didn't make much sense. But he was convinced that something bit him. He kept checking. It must have been some bug. Something changed by the weirdness. That must have caused his fever, his insanity.
Can you describe how the evening went before you had the dream?
Well, it was pretty typical. We started a fire and threw some cobwebs into it. Frang brought them back from one of his treks. That boy could always find them somehow. It was our protection from the night and the weirdness. Ellis was on watch that day, but from what he told us, he eventually fell asleep. We were lucky no one slit our throats.
Okay, where was your camp?
We set up camp near the Arch Spire. We hoped that bandits wouldn't dare to venture into a place like that. Well, now I know why we could have been right. With everything that's been happening lately, I'm ready to believe in every strange thing in this world.
I see a dark... Oh, okay. Okay, Okay, here's the gesture of solidarity. Let's see what this does.
What?
Oh, this might be bad.
Dare you? Do you know the meaning of those flowers in that configuration?
Clearly no. Not what he wanted to convey, I assume.
Revenge.
Oh.
Revenge, deception, and death. There's nothing nice about it, and I don't know if he did it on purpose or if he's just an idiot. But trust me, it's not a nice gesture.
If I knew what they meant, I wouldn't have given to him. Yeah.
Thank you. For them, you are from nowhere, just like me. That's why I believe you. Take those flowers away, burn them, throw them in a cauldron, whatever. I don't want to look at them.
Okay. What part? When?
Oh, right.
I was going to say, did we already cover that? But no.
I'm Beatrice. As for me and Cole, well, we left Ree hoping to find a quiet place to rest for a bit.
We planned to travel the King's Road toward Camelot. Well, here we are. We found our bloody Camelot. Cole is locked up and all I can do is shed bitter tears.
Ree, is that where you're from?
Yeah. We grew up there. The village was built around a trade route. My parents ran a tavern that stood right by the road.
We had a good life. We lacked for nothing. Well, that was before the damned grubwood started spitting out monsters.
Then more and more caravans disappeared into the forest. People were telling stories that grew more horrifying by the day. In the end, taking that route meant certain death.
Okay, what happened to the tavern?
The same thing that will happen to every place on this godforsaken island. Ruin. We used to have generous clientele. Merchants and emissaries from all over Avalon. They had deep pockets, always left lots of gold. But that changed. Then our only income came from the villagers, who were getting drunker and poorer by the day.
So you decided to leave?
That was always our plan. Cole and I never wanted to stay there forever. Beatrice and Cole from the village of Ree, that wasn't us.
I can't. Are they together? Your parents stayed? Or are they brother sister?
Yeah. I doubt I'll ever see him again. I don't think there's anything worth going back for.
What about the others from your group?
Each of us has a different story. Some wanted to seek their fortune elsewhere, like me and Cole. Some had to flee their homes because of bandits pillaging their villages, or because of the weirdness. Ree could be one of those places by now. There's so much turmoil in this world. People can suddenly lose themselves, becoming a danger to those they once loved.
When did you arrive here?
2 or 3 weeks ago. Things were starting to get difficult. The supplies we brought with us were running low. A larger group of people is always helpful. There's always someone to talk to and share the work with. But it also means more mouths to feed and more worries to deal with. It's not easy. Be careful out there.
Okay. Another quest down, 75 XP. That's good. When she said that she arrived 2 to 3 weeks ago, that's a lot happening in a few weeks. I was actually surprised by that. I figured it didn't take long for everything to explode, it seems like. Can you hear me? Do you need anything? Okay.
Be careful out there.
I was just curious if she would have one more thing after I spoke to Cole. Okay, so let's check our quests. Boom. A world to win. The first piece of King's soul is tied to Arthur. Okay. Unforgettable. She died in childbirth. The world is silent. I don't know who to... let me see. Let me track this, see if it tells me where to go. I can't tell if these are like longer term quests. Like maybe they're... Because the one thing I do know, this is not the only map, I don't believe. Maybe it is. But I thought there were other parts of the world. So maybe those take us elsewhere. Whispers in the Dark. That was the quest where I was getting my ass kicked by the boss. Silk Road. Let's see if we can find the supplier or get an idea of where it is. How long have I been? All right, we're at 3 hours and 15 minutes. We might be starting to get to the end of this session. And we'll definitely, obviously we'll definitely pick it up at some point. You fuel your bonfire to fast travel. So I can't, oh, interesting. So fast travel is not a given. There's a couple reasons for it. One, I am out of, what if I use this? Can I fast travel using this without... Yes, okay, so if I actually use the pillars, I don't need to fuel my bonfire. That's good to know. Okay. So there we go. Ruin Brock. So yeah, like I was saying, like there's a lot of dialogue, but like I know people like stream like Baldur's Gate 3 and they stream, stuff like that. Dialogue intense. Is it on? Nope, didn't time that well. Nice, okay. Yeah, part of like I'm out of something to drink, so my voice is going to start going. Also, because I'm not a fancy YouTuber, I have a file size limit, and I would rather do like 3.5 hour sessions at the maximum quality I tend to record at than to downgrade the quality just to fit a longer session in. No, I didn't dodge that. I'm not dodging this at all. Can't tell, is that healing me when I connect? Doesn't seem to be. And then also I've got to, again, because it's a cat-ass bachelor weekend, I'm going to be doing some Arthur's Memory, set a bonfire. I'm going to be doing some, speaking of Baldur's Gate 3, I've got that going on this evening. Doing a co-op run of that. It's been extremely good. A really good game. Is there another one? No. Oh. Disgraced nobleman. Yeah, so I'm trying to... so it looks like a bit of a bandit camp there. So what I'm trying to do is... what's this? I see a darkness. So that's one of the quests, I think. So let's unlock this fast travel point now that we're sort of clearing this part of the map. A lot of wolves here. I don't know if that's going to be part of the Whispers. New arch spire located. I don't know if that's going to be part of the making a warm cloak. But yeah, so why don't we do this? I'm not sure where this is going to go, but let's do a quick save. And let's call it here. So I don't want to apologize for being like a dialogue heavy session. I mean, that's just part of what an RPG is. we got some more story. We finally actually completed some quests. And we took care of some business, and we'll get back to checking off some of these side quests the next time we jump in, which hopefully will be soon. Streaming wise, it might be hopefully very soon. But when the archives go up, it might be a little bit. But anyway, thanks to everybody who jumped into the chat. Matt, Duck, it was always good to chat with you guys. Hope everybody's doing well. Again, we're watching this. I do CRPG stuff, but mainly we are a tabletop RPG actual play podcast. We do audio of those kinds of things. Just search for Black Lodge Trivia Night wherever you get your audio. We should show up. If you're watching this stuff, obviously you found our YouTube channel, and like and subscribe if that's your thing. We also have sort of discussion podcasts about RPG topics under our Damn Fine Coffee. We talk about very specific systems, books, under the Bookhouse Boys. And yeah, Matt and I, we discuss Souls on Bonfire Walk With Me. So it's just sort of like a collection of RPG shit. We have a Discord if you want to jump in. Otherwise, everybody take care, and thank you, Matt. I hope you enjoy your weekend as well. And thanks to everybody who watched. Thanks to the people who jumped in the chat, and we'll talk soon. Thank you.